Antonio leads the Spartan walk. They hope for a touch of magic from Sparty, and then maybe a little bit of luck today at home against the Irish. Notre Dame and Michigan State fighting to regain their place among college football's elite. The Irish have rebounded from last year's 3-9 disaster to start 2-0. A maturing quarterback and opportunistic defense have led the way. Michigan State has won 2 straight with smash-mouth efficiency. Behind a nearly unstoppable ground game, they're ringing up huge numbers and hope to continue to roll against a long-running rival today. It's a statement Saturday for the Spartans and the Irish from East Lansing next. Here come the Spartans of Michigan State. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC, presented by Best Buy. And our matchup, the Spartans of Michigan State on their home turf against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And here comes the 2-0 Irish of Charlie Weiss. A much happier Irish team, no doubt, than this time a year ago. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nussler. What a difference a year makes, huh? Right now, Notre Dame at 2-0 is 1 win away from their entire win total of all of last season. For Michigan State, they started off a disappointing loss to Cal, but they put back-to-back wins together now. And their longtime rival, they get set for the 72nd battle that dates back to 1897. You and I weren't around for that one. But let's talk quarterbacks today. Here's my quarterback, Bob Greasy.
I'm looking forward to seeing these two. We've got a veteran and a rookie. The veteran is Brian Hoyer, Michigan State. He's a 5th-year senior. He's like a coach on the field. He handles all the checkoffs. He's got a good running game. But the thing about it is, if he has to throw the football, last year in this ball game, 4 touchdown passes against Notre Dame. And for the Irish, it's Jimmy Clausen. Jimmy had a tough year last year, really a devastating year. Came back, and now he has won his last 4 ball games. The thing I see, more poise, more confidence. He's gone without making mistakes and making big plays. We'll see him today.
And he hasn't been sacked yet, and that helps the cause. The Michigan State fans in a whiteout hope that changes today. Irish and the Spartans next.
Overcome the big man gonna try. Overcome the big man, by step aside. Put on over, hot stand, the big man by.
That's the guy Notre Dame will have to stop today. Javon Ringer. We get set for the Spartans of Michigan State, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, and it's going to be a little different down in the field today. That's where Paul is right now.
That's one of the reasons I'm down here is because of what happened to head coach Charlie Weiss of Notre Dame last week. They almost ripped his leg off, but I've been watching him for about the last hour or so. He's limping up and down the sideline. He's going to be fine. The other reason I'm down here, Javon Ringer, running back for Michigan State, and that big Michigan State offensive line. Javon Ringer is 5'9", 200 pounds. The offensive line is 6'6" on the average. So when the Notre Dame looks at Javon, they'll see him in the backfield until he gets the ball. Then he disappears. Then he comes back in again, and he usually scores a touchdown. Yes, I'll see you guys up there in a little while.
All right, make your way back up here, Paul. Michigan State won the toss and deferred. There is Javon Ringer in a series that goes back to 1897. And as I said, the road teams won the last 7. Will that change today? We'll find out. Right now, let's go down and meet the head coach. Here's Stacy.
Well, Brad, the road team has won the last 7, and coach, with that in mind, what kind of a tone would you like to establish early on your home field?
We're just excited to be playing out here today with a great crowd, great day for football. It's a great rivalry. Just happy to be a part of it.
Realistically, how many touches would you like to get Javon Ringer early in the game?
How many is it going to take?
Quite a few.
We'll lose touches.
That's about
all right, Coach, thank you.
That's about as big a smile as you're going to get out of Mark.
He's come a long way, though.
Charlie was smiling even in the press conference after his knee injury last week. But there he is on the sideline, and again, he's got a cast type of apparatus underneath the sweatpants. And he was going to wait on surgery, maybe even till the offseason, he says. The medial collateral ligament probably will tighten itself a little bit. The ACL, that doesn't work that way. Yeah. So eventually they'll have to take care of Charlie's knee. So Michigan State's going to kick off. Todd Bolesky has got it teed up. Armando Allen and Golden Tate will wait down on the other end. Golden Tate quickly becoming a cult hero of sorts on the Notre Dame campus. So for the 72nd time, Michigan State and Notre Dame. Line drive. And jumping up to get it is Allen at the 4. Allen out to the 25, 26-yard line, and he swarmed under there. Let's take a look at our Best Buy impact players for Notre Dame. We talked about Golden Tate. He's averaging 22 yards per catch from Jimmy Clausen. There's some impact guys on defense, too. Maurice Crum, two-time captain. He started the last 39 games. And then David Bruton, always around the ball. Already with 2 forced fumbles and an interception that was big in one of Notre Dame's early season wins. Robert Hughes will start at tailback with Jimmy Clausen at the controls and the tight end in motion from the 26-yard line. Hughes swarmed under. He might have lost a yard. Trevor Anderson made the stop defensively. Jimmy Clausen, as Bob talked about, the sophomore, one of the most highly recruited and highly touted quarterbacks to come into a college program last year, and it was tough on him. 58 sacks they gave up. They weren't all on Jimmy, but his front line has done a better job. He's done a better job getting rid of the ball when he's in trouble, and he has not been sacked so far this year. He might have his first opportunity to pass at hand right here. 2nd down and 11 from the 25-yard line. Keep it on the ground again, and they've carried it twice. They've lost 2 yards, and now we got some shoving going on, and flags are flying. Well, it only took about 3 plays for these guys to want to mix it up a little bit.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Unnecessary effort. 74 in the offense.
Tom Tomczyk with the call. The personal fouls going against Sam Young, the right tackle for Notre Dame. And as you look above the scoreboard, you'll see the starting lineups, and he'll be one of the first names that you'll see on the front wall of Young and Stewart, Wenger, Olsen, and Turkovich. We'll see a lot of 2 tight end sets. Yateman, Rudolph, the freshman, is the starter. And the guy that started at tailback and hasn't made any yardage so far was Robert Hughes.
We got the first 2 carries of the ball game. Something I expected Notre Dame to be a little bit conservative coming out here on the road. First time this year.
And that's 3rd down and 24. And Clausen drops into the shotgun. Michigan State thinking about a blitz. And the draw play inside. Out to about the 18-yard line is James Aldridge. But it's a pickup of only 6, and Notre Dame's going to have to give it up right away.
Well, that was a give-up play for Notre Dame. Just don't turn the ball over. Last year they had a lot of those situations. It's either turned up into a sack or an interception.
Eric Moss, there's his numbers so far on the year. Otis Wiley, the captain, one of the defensive back starters and stars, is also a dangerous punt returner. He's already had a long one of 78 yards this year. Moss off the side of his foot. Not a good kick. And it's going to bounce out of bounds at about the 47-yard line, maybe the 48-yard line. So let's take a look at the Best Buy impact players for the Spartans of Michigan State. Mark Dell is averaging 22 yards a catch from Brian Hoyer right now. Greg Jones, big play linebackers, a freshman, led the team in tackles last year. And Otis Wiley, I just mentioned him. Not only a couple of interceptions already, but a dangerous punt returner as well. Well, this is great starting field position right here, Bob.
You'd love to start at the midfield stripe every time.
Brian Hoyer at the controls, and it's the toss to Javon Ringer. Notre Dame spreads it out, knocks him out of bounds, no gain on the play. Nice job defensively by Notre Dame. Brian Hoyer, the captain, getting his last crack at the Fighting Irish. 6'3", 215-pound senior. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. A completion percentage, part of that's because the weather was terrible last week. And he did not have the greatest of game against Cal.
He should have a big day today, because I'm going to think that they're going to be everybody up there to stop the run. The passing game should be there.
Here it is. First throw of the game is Hoyer's, and it's a first down, and it's a lot more. All the way down to the 30-yard line, as Bob called it. B.J. Cunningham, 22 yards on the play. Terrell Lambert saved it from being any worse than it was.
B.J.'s playing for the first time. He's a redshirt freshman. playing in his 4th game of the year, pushes off a little bit, gets the ball, and then has some ability to get away from Lambert. But when you've got 8 guys to stop the run, there's going to be a lot of single coverage outside.
They were worried about BJ because he bruised his knee last week in the 2nd quarter, but it didn't look like it was bothering him on that one. That's for sure. Down to the 30-yard line immediately for Michigan State's offense. Play action. Hoyer in trouble and just got rid of that one as Notre Dame, Maurice Crum, got some nice pressure in there, and Bryan rolling to that side couldn't get anything on the football. Matchups to watch today. Key matchup. How about those 2 lines, Bob?
Yeah. Well, I think the offensive line, Michigan State, has about 25 pounds on the defensive line for Notre Dame, and there's not a lot of depth in that defensive line for the Irish.
Paul made his way back up here. He was looking at the big eaters down there for Michigan State.
You know, when I look down at Ringer when I'm talking to him, and I look up at those other guys, I got a bad neck.
2nd down and 10. Selleck, the tight end, in motion. Ringer takes it for a pickup of about 2. Brian Smith, the linebacker, made the stop. As you see the starters up there on top of your screen. Mark D'Antonio's 2nd year at Michigan State. Last year 7-6. Started off 4-0, and here are those 2 lines, the key matchup we're talking about.
You know, the one thing about this Michigan State line is you look at them, they really get off the ball in a hurry. They're big. They're 6'6" on the average, over 300 pounds, but they can move it.
Their best side is from center over to right tackle. Left side not quite as strong, but getting better every week. 3rd down and 8. Hoyer over the middle. Oh, that one was batted down. I think it was Ethan Johnson who got a paw on that one.
And he had a man open too over the middle. It was a good thing that defensive lineman hit that ball, or it would have been completed to Cunningham.
Good kicker for Michigan State. Brett Swenson, 15 out of 22 last year. 2 out of 3 so far this season. His career long is from 46. This one's going to be from 45. Aaron Bates will spot it down, hopefully cleanly, for Swenson right at the 35-yard line. Michigan State trying to take advantage of early field position and try to take the lead. Swenson, 45-yard kick, looks like it's going to be perfect. Can't hit it any better than that on a beautiful day on the home field. Early lead to the Spartans on the field goal, 3-0. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC, available in high definition from East Lansing. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Stacey Dales on a glorious day. It's a little bit warm down there, boys.
There's no air in the bottom of that thing down there.
Charlie Weishope and Jimmy Clausen, Ron Paulus, former quarterback there, next to number 7, hoping they can get their offense in gear on their 2nd drive. They went backward on their opening possession of the ball game. Todd Bolesky will tee it up for the 2nd time today. Notre Dame's got their band here. And back deep, Armando Allen and Golden Tate. This one will go to Allen at the 5. Last time he got it out to the 26. This time he's not going to get that far. Out to the 21-yard line. Let's check our game plan, fellas.
Well, Notre Dame win on the road. Their first 2 wins were at home. You got to win on the road. There's something special about that. And then for Michigan State, balance. Everybody knows you can run the football. Ringer's going to carry the ball 43 times last week. They need balance in that offense.
The only play offensively that was worth much so far in the early going was that 22-yard pass by Hoyer to Cunningham. Both teams have been stopped on the ground so far here in the first quarter. From the 21. Here's a stretch play, and this one got a couple for Armando Allen. Danny Fortner made the stop defensively for Michigan State. Michigan State giving up about 137 yards a game on the ground. You see the defense on the top of your screen for Michigan State. Kershaw, the big leader there, the captain on the defensive line. And a 2nd down and 8. And again, they stay on the ground. Very conservative approach right now for Notre Dame. Greg Jones made the tackle, loss of 2.
You know what's going on, Ness? There's so much penetration with this defensive line, and it's letting the linebackers clean up. This defensive line is beating the offense to the punch. Watch the guys in green. Look at him across the line of scrimmage. There's nothing left but a linebacker and nobody to block him, and he makes a tackle. That was Jones.
You've got to assume that Clawson's got to throw here. 3rd down and 10. He hasn't put one up yet. Didn't want to be in a 3rd and long situation, obviously. And they don't throw it. Sort of a inside handoff on a fake Statue of Liberty looking play, and they still have not thrown the football.
2 possessions, 6 plays for the Irish, all runs, and I don't blame them. You're on the road, you don't want to get yourself in a hole, and you don't want to start your quarterback off in a negative way. Be conservative.
So it's Eric Most again to punt. First one came off the side of his foot and landed at about the 48-yard line of Michigan State. See if he can get a little more on this one.
I hope you're not saying that in the 4th quarter.
Whoa, and they got close to him, but he got away a better kick. Wiley is going to have to fair catch it at the 34-yard line. Much better kick, 44-yarder. Michigan State's got a 3-point lead in the ball when we come back. The Old Town Blues Fest 2-day musical festival, bringing local, regional, national acts to town. About 15,000 people take part in watching that. Every artist asked to play something new that hasn't been played before.
I like that.
Yeah, we sing all the same songs all the time, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Stacy's got some new ones we don't know, but
I never listen when Paul's singing.
yeah, I try not to. That 99 bottles of beer on the wall gets old after a while. On 1st down, out to the 40-yard line goes Javon Ringer.
Especially when you're drinking them one at a time.
That was good.
Our ESPN Bio Blast, Javon Ringer, only 5'9", but he's not small. 202-pounder, 2nd team All Big Ten, 282, the 3rd best total in Michigan State history, and leads NCAA with 9 touchdowns. Had 5 of those in one game.
You see the guns on this guy. I was down there on the field looking at him, and I'm going to tell you what, this guy is really put together.
The most physical specimen, they say, on the team, and you might have seen his workout regime on Game Day on ESPN this morning. Pretty impressive looking young man, and here he comes again, and he's got a 1st down, and he's taking Notre Dame players with him down to the 49-yard line. Stacy?
Well, Brad, I talked to a couple of Ringer's teammates, and particularly Brian Hoyer. I said, what's the best thing about Javon Ringer? And he said to me, as good of a player as he is, he's a better person. And he's actually surprised, guys, that he's not being talked about for the Heisman Trophy. He said it's probably, Brad, because he's such a humble person that he doesn't get all the publicity that he really deserves.
Yeah, all of us were talking about that the other day a little bit. If he keeps ringing up 200, no pun intended, 282-yard games, people will start to take notice, that's for sure. 6th in school history with over 3,200 yards. 1st down at the 49. Here's the end around, the fake end around. Hoyer's got all time and going deep, in and out of the hands of B.J. Cunningham. Brian might have waited just a hair too long on that one. I'm not sure. He put it out there pretty far, though.
Well, he did. It wasn't there initially, and then he just waited. He threw that ball about 60 yards in the air. And it's McNeil, number 8, that really does a nice job of still staying with the receiver and getting his arm in there to knock it away. That was a great play.
That really was. He had it tucked right in his elbow, battled for the ball, and nobody got it.
That's a play they had designed. That's a play they wanted. Once you get near the 50-yard line, they thought they had a good chance at that.
It was a great play fake, too. Here's Hoyer now throwing. Hey, you better get on that ball just in case. Nope, they're going to say incomplete. And it was tipped by Harrison Smith. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 at the 49.
That's just, you know, Harrison Smith, number 22 at Notre Dame. He plays on the outside. He's only 6'2", 212 pounds. And he plays kind of a linebacker position. But that time he came down, nobody blocked him, and he timed it perfectly.
He was a backup at safety at one time, so you're right. He's playing that hybrid position out there. 3rd down and 10, and Brian Hoyer's only 1 out of 5, so his percentage is not getting any better here in the early going in the 1st quarter. Here comes the blitz. Hoyer fires. Oh, incomplete. That one should have been caught, probably. B.J. Cunningham.
Yeah, you got to hit that one, Brad. Cunningham only playing in his 4th game, as I mentioned, BJ. But he's been around here for a year.
Yep.
Redshirt freshman. They needed that one.
So punting situation for Aaron Bates for the first time today. And Armando Allen will be the guy waiting on it back at about the 10-yard line for Notre Dame. Bates, pressure coming on him. Got it away. Allen gets everybody out of the way, and it made it to the end zone. He did the right thing. Looked like maybe it wasn't going to work out for him, but it got to the end zone on a 49-yard kick. Notre Dame offensively from the 20 when we come back. Michigan State by a field goal. Notre Dame now from the 20-yard line. What do they do here, Grease?
They're going to throw.
They better. They haven't yet.
Yeah, they're good down to throw. First down.
And around they go. And that's got some room for Golden Tate. Tate out to the 45-yard line.
Well, like a throw.
Something with some spice to
Yeah.
it. You just couldn't hand it off. That's a little gimmicky play.
Charlie's about, or was about, 55 yards away from that end-around handoff. He's a little bit closer to the action now. There's Coach Weiss again with a knee injury, and we'll give you a perspective of keeping the play in front of him.
Well,
he's got a couple strength coaches down there too, kind of guarding the body.
Well, he said he's going to stay behind the offense, but he can't get all the way down there that quickly. So
that would be way down with the Notre Dame band if he got behind the Irish offense. That's for sure. Here's Clausen wanting to throw a screen. He's going to throw it away. So there's the play. And here's a flag flying in at the end of the play. Late flag, and coach working his way up there to see what it's about. That has got to be painful walking around on a torn ACL on an 80-degree day.
Foul on the play. The pass was behind the line of scrimmage. Second down.
I asked Charlie before the ball game if he were going to sit down some during the ball game. And he says, well, he says, I might. He said, but if it starts aching and giving me some pain, he would. But he said he'd sit down at halftime.
So second down at 10 now. The Irish at their own 44-yard line. Robert Hughes back in there at the tailback spot. 2 tight end set. And Clausen will move Yateman, the tight end, across to the left side and rolls to throw and has to get rid of it in a hurry, and he got it to his tight end. Short gain, but got it to Yateman nonetheless as he was dumped after he let it go by Trevor Anderson. Got a who said it for you guys instead of did you know. I found that prayer works a lot better with big players. Now that is a good one. Somebody from Notre Dame said it, and you might guess it would be the great Newt Rockne.
You knew it was a coach.
Prayer works a lot better with big players.
I'm sure there's a lot of head coaches out there, past and present, that would agree with that 100%.
No doubt. Only 2 pass plays so far, both in this drive. Third down and 8. Clausen loads and goes deep. He's got a man out there. Tate's got it to the 24-yard line. Big play, Jimmy Clausen to Golden Tate.
Yeah, that was a good play, well-designed play. They had their one of their best wide receivers on a safety.
We told you that Golden Tate would be an impact player. He just made his impact felt there also on the end around earlier. And Clausen took a big shot when he let go. Tate made a great catch. Charlie Weiss says Golden Tate's a little different cat. Last week, after having a big pass play for a touchdown, ran by his coach and said, I cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
Normally you don't say that, Roger, head coach.
Well, as long as they keep putting him in those good situations.
That's right. And here, no gain on the play for Robert Hughes. Well, the field position has not been good to Notre Dame until this drive. They've got something going now. Michigan State had one positive play that led to their field goal, so they're out front 3-0 in a game that the home team has lost 7 straight years. 5:09 remaining in the ballgame.
Did you say the home team had lost 7 straight years?
Yes. That's not good home cooking. That's the wrong food or something.
You don't get many rivalries like that.
2nd and 10 at the 24. Play action for Clausen. Got some time going to the end zone. Double coverage out there. And
it's intercepted.
Picked off. Nope. They're going to say didn't catch it. It was Otis Wiley.
He was out of the end zone. He came down out of the end zone. That's why Otis Wiley had it.
Every play in college football is reviewed, so as soon as they see some replays, they'll be reviewing it up here in the booth.
21 is Otis Wiley. He's in the front. Now watch, he takes the ball away, that he lands out of the end zone.
But is his rear end out of the end zone?
The ball is.
Does he have a foot in bounds?
The ball lands out of the end zone.
I don't know, Paul. I think he may have the ball.
The difference is that his rear end, as you were talking about, was laying on the Notre Dame player. So he actually wasn't down. Now look where he comes down. He's going to come down on Kumara. Watch this. See, he's actually not on the ground.
Well, his foot is already on the ground, though. His right foot is on the ground. You can't see it, and he has the ball.
I think it's an interception. Jim Augustine is our replay official. Okay. He was in here in the booth with us earlier before the ball game.
Yeah, there's possession, and his foot looks to be down.
So the review continues. Otis Wiley thinks he's got his 3rd interception of the season. I tend to agree with him, but the guy that's right behind the screen that you can't see is Jim Augustine, and he will be the guy that will make the decision.
There's no question that the foot was down. The right foot was down. The question might be possession. Did he have possession from the receiver when his foot was on the ground?
Yeah, because he kind of took the ball and put it up over his head, but he did. I mean, he just takes the ball away.
Number 21 is the one we're looking at. Here's his foot. Foot is down. Does he have possession? His foot is down. He has possession. Then he falls out of bounds.
Right. He does have possession of the ball. I tell you, that's a tough call.
They could be saying, well, maybe they both had possession. At the very end, we saw that he had possession, but maybe they said they both had possession when his foot was on the ground.
Yeah, but they signaled him out of the end zone.
The ruling is interception. Touchdown.
The right call.
Good job. Great job, guys.
So Otis Wiley's got his 3rd pick of the year. In the back and very back of the end zone on Jimmy Clausen.
And the bottom line is Clausen, that was not a good throw.
No.
Because I'm sure in practice they saw that they were going to work against it, and that would be there. But in the ball game, it just wasn't there, and you have to not throw the ball.
It was double coverage all the way, and he let it go anyway.
Charlie's saying, now listen, in practice, we set that up for you where it was there so you could throw it. But don't throw it if it's not there in the game.
So Michigan State takes over at the 20-yard line, leading 3-0. Hoyer, long count, and the toss to Ringer. And the hole for Javon Ringer closed in a hurry, courtesy of Brian Smith. Nice job defensively by the linebacker out of Oberlin Park, Kansas. D is for Dover. Drivers are going to dig deep, try to leave everyone in the dust. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Dover, presented by Principal Financial Group on ABC tomorrow. Coverage starts with NASCAR Countdown at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Who do you like? Co-leaders now, the number 99 and the number 48 car.
Well, the number 18's over here somewhere.
That's who you're taking?
I'm taking him.
All right.
And I'm taking the other 3.
Here's a quick throw and a catch. Mark Dell. Dell, the big play receiver this year now, all the way out to the 43-yard line. 22-yard pickup for Dell after Cunningham had one of 22 earlier.
I would throw that ball to this guy all the time. He's got 13 catches. This is 14th now, averaging 24.6 yards a carry. But he only has 1 touchdown. He's got outstanding hands and outstanding speed.
That play will be there all day. They're going to try and stop the run with 8 guys, and you got single coverage on the outside.
Mark got over 200 yards receiving in the opener against California, despite the fact it was a loss. That was his career day. You saw his numbers on the season. Fake toss, and got to get rid of that one in a hurry. And somehow Hoyer did for a pickup of about 2. Deion Curry made the catch, but the heat was coming from Harris and Smith again for Notre Dame. Let's check in with an update in New York. Here's Matt.
Thanks. It's great to see you. I'll be here throughout your game to give you the very latest from the day's most important games around the country.
And in
this Taco Bell update, a couple of young teams trying to rebuild great brand names. A&M got out to a 7-0 lead on Miami. This is Greg Cooper for the first of 2 touchdown runs. Hurricanes lead it at College Station 14-7.
All right, Matt, here it's 3-0, and Javon Ringer lost the ball. Fumble. Notre Dame, I think, has it. And the linesman says they do. Still unpiling bodies, but Javon Ringer's fumble has given it back to the Irish.
That's the 9th takeaway for Charlie Weiss's Irish in the first 2 and the 3rd ball games. Had 6 of them last week against Michigan.
Well, Javon Ringer, what he's trying to do is get just too much more. Watch this. Now he's through the hole. He's already gotten the first down. Protect the ball. They come in and they strip the ball out. You've got to protect the football.
Brian Smith stripped it. John Ryan recovered it. Notre Dame's got it back at the 40-yard line.
Did a nice job of stripping that ball.
Now Clausen, who threw an interception on his last pass, sets up his offense at the 45 and comes out firing. Incomplete. Duval Camara was the guy that was the closest receiver out there, but he was kind of running up the field. Jimmy was throwing it out.
You know that play really looks bad, Reese, because you got the receiver who's running straight down the field, and you're looking at a guy running about a 12 to 15 yard out, and he's 20 yards down the field. I mean, it looks like a bad pass.
Well, what you have to do is you have to be in concert with the receiver. They throw it, they call that a fade route, and then it's a fade stop. I'm throw it behind you, and you look at it and come back and get it.
We're 2nd down at 10. Play action. Clausen wants it all. Going deep. He's got a man out there just over Michael Floyd. That was close. This is a guy, Floyd, slow to get up, that they are so high on. 2-time player of the year in the state of Minnesota. And they talk about him in the kind of terms of like built like Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, that kind of thing. And he's shaken up after that diving attempt to try to get to that football.
Here he is down here. He's just going to go straight down the middle. There's a lot of big plays to be had because, look, nobody in the middle of the field. It's just you and the defensive back.
Now it's 3rd and 10. 2 tight ends. Pressure came on Clausen, but he got rid of it, and he threw a strike down to the 44-yard line to Robbie Paris. That's as good a throw as Jimmy's thrown today. On 3rd and 10, he got 11. Take a look at our ESPN bio blast on Jimmy Clausen. In high school, a phenom, and then highly touted coming in. Of course, Rick and Casey, his brothers, both played quarterback at Tennessee. Started for Notre Dame earlier than any other guy ever has. 5 and 6 coming in as a starter, and tomorrow is his 21st birthday. He'd like a birthday present here in East Lansing this afternoon. Adam Decker filled the hole on James Aldridge and dropped him for a yard loss. And Notre Dame's biggest problem right now, they can't run the football. The only positive they had was on the end around.
Exactly, and they've got to be able to run the football to take some pressure. That last pass that he completed was a great pass.
Yeah.
Took some time. The other thing to note, that offensive line gave him the time. Last year, 58 sacks was the most in the country.
Floyd is back in there after being shaken up earlier in this series. Clausen, pump fake, and down he goes. Brandon Long from his defensive end spot with his first sack of the season and the first allowed by Notre Dame all year.
They ran a stunt to the inside and got Brandon Long up the middle. I mean, this is just a nice defensive play. Work by the defensive line. Brandon Long is the guy that gets the sack. But watch where he comes from. Watch him come back in. Brandon Long is going to wait for the tackle to clear, and then the tackle takes 2 offensive players with him. Brandon Long has a clear shot right at the quarterback.
First sack in 62 attempts by Notre Dame this year. And that's 3rd down and a bunch. 3rd and 21. Clausen in the shotgun. Here comes a blitz off the corner. It's a draw play again on the inside, and it gets to the 45-yard line. So they got 9 of it back.
Yeah. That was a smart call. Don't take any chances.
You like Otis Wiley, huh? I'll tell you, he will pop you, man.
He'll drop back and run a punt back on you too, and he'll intercept the pass in the back of the end zone on you too. And Moss to kick it to him or try to keep it away from him right here for Notre Dame on 4th down. Hangs it up. Wiley waiting and caught at the 4-yard line. Great job by the special teams. And David Bruton down there to catch it after a 40-yard kick. You can't do it any better than that. So Michigan State's trying to break the jinx, win a home game against Notre Dame. Well, they've got a pretty good start. 3-0 lead at the end of one. Set to start the second quarter. Michigan State in a hole at their own 4-yard line after a great punt and coverage by the special teams of Notre Dame. 2 tight ends set with an eye backfield, trying to get some room out there for Javon Ringer, and he got some. Ringer takes it out to the 13-yard line. He's been most of the offense for Michigan State so far today. It was a conservative approach early for Notre Dame. They're starting to open it up now.
Both teams had one takeaway or fumble, one interception. Michigan State's got a field goal, and that's it. Like you said, it's good conservative, get into the ball game.
They're hitting some people, though, aren't they?
Don't you love it when you hear that popping?
Yeah.
Hello.
We always get that in a Michigan State Notre Dame game, I guess. And a 2nd down and short. Ringer, big opening, spins his way, still on his feet out to the 31-yard line. Pickup of 18 for Javon Ringer. So his biggest play of the day.
They're running over that right side behind Martin and Miller, the right guard and the right tackle. Look over here to this side. The fullback's going to get in there. That's McPherson. Gets a good block. And then Bruton slows him down.
And Ringer so strong despite that 5'9" stature. But man, he said today, he said, from the waist down, that's my money right there. He works on his legs so much, and you can see it. And look at the size of those legs.
You know, Des, I was down there on the sidelines before the game watching him, and if you stand right behind their defense or offensive line and you see him, you know, watch, Notre Dame can't find him all of a sudden, and he runs low anyway. You see him back there now when he's back about 7 yards, but once he gets close to the line of scrimmage, you lose him.
Hoyer, quick throw, incomplete. Let's check in with Stacy.
Well, Brad, down here on the Michigan State sideline, you guys can clearly see that not one Michigan State player sitting on the bench. That's been the story throughout much of the first half thus far. Every player standing. It's a really positive sideline. And I'll remind you guys the focus theme this week that Mark D'Antonio gave his players. He talked to his players, Brad, about making it personal. He reminded them 2 years ago when this Notre Dame teammate came in with a come-from-behind victory, a demoralizing victory, and he has not let his players forget about that. It's all about focus for these guys right now.
Especially those fifth-year seniors that played in that game. Here's Hoyer scrambling around. Brian trying to get something. Oh, putting his head down and taking a shot from Gary Gray after a pickup of about 3, and then Gray gets up talking to Hoyer, who will come over on the sideline.
I think Hoyer was talking to Gray.
Well, maybe.
I think the quarterback got up and started talking some trash.
And I think the coach will talk to the quarterback and say, hey, listen, we need you, man.
And there's that hairdo of Brian Hoyer's. Every Friday he shaves that baby. He says, Kershaw, my roommate, make sure I don't miss anything in the back.
Yeah,
they didn't miss anything yesterday when we were talking to him.
No, he didn't.
It's pretty clean. Here's a whistle and a flag on what would have been, had the play gone through, a block punt.
55 offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So they'll back it up a little bit more on a false start penalty on Adam Decker in there. So now they'll kick from about the 20-yard line with Armando Allen back deep for Notre Dame. Well, they got close again. Both teams putting some heat on the opposing punters. Allen from the 28, got around the first guy, not the second. He'll be dragged down at about the 33-yard line by Brandon Denson. 12:22 remaining first half. Michigan State at home with a field goal lead. Charlie Weiss a lot closer to the action right now as his team comes up at the 33-yard line with a first down.
But he's behind the offense.
Right. Nothing should happen back there.
Yeah.
Unless the referee gets in his way.
Or they lateral.
Safety in numbers over there with the strength and conditioning guys huddled around it. Clausen deep down the sideline and incomplete. Nice coverage back there by Chris Rucker. Charlie Weiss with a flag down. Last week, after having that knee injured, this was his reaction when he came into his post-game news conference.
ACL and MCL, how do you like that? I feel like an athlete. First time in my life.
It's good to see Charlie smile.
Yeah. Well, you know, they won the game.
Yeah, I think
and he might have been on some painkillers right there. Yeah, the call is going to be pass interference on that deep route run out there by Golden Tate, and Rucker comes over and gives him right there.
Right there. The ball was in the air. That was what the foul was. You can touch him. This is not the NFL. They have the 5-yard rule. You can touch him, but if the ball's in the air, you can't touch him.
So they've got a first down at the 48-yard line. Ground game still struggling, but this time the pile gets pushed at least down to the 48-yard line by Robert Hughes and company. His offensive line giving him a little bit of help along the way. Time for this week's trivia question. Thank you, Duck. What 10-time Major League Baseball All-Star and National League MVP played defensive back for Michigan State? Think that one over now.
Yeah.
That's not as easy as you think.
You may think you know, but
I didn't know that one.
You still don't, even after you read it.
Yeah, I know. Our crack staff came up with that one. I didn't know that. Second down and 6. Blitz off the corner. Clausen throws right where it came from on a perfect strike.
Good play, Ness. You picked that up. If they're blitzing, throw at where they're blitzing, because that's where the void is. Here he comes from the right side.
Right over his head almost.
Yeah.
Perfect throw. Pickup of 11. First down, Notre Dame on the drive here in the second quarter. Trailing 3-0, but Jimmy Clausen's getting warmed up. Through that interception, that was probably the only ill-advised pass that he's thrown so far today. Now they go to Allen. Michigan State does a nice job of stretching it out and knocking him out of bounds as we check in again. Matt Weiner in New York. Matt.
All right, Brad, here's our nominee for the Pontiac game-changing performance. Unbeaten East Carolina in overtime with North Carolina State. Patrick Pitney has it and loses it. Shea McKean knocked it loose. And the Wolfpack aren't messing around with a field goal to put this thing away. They give it to Andre Brown. 10 yards later, it's a touchdown. Vote for this week's Pontiac game-changing performance starting tomorrow morning at 9 on ESPN.com.
Well, one dream over, I guess, for East Carolina, but North Carolina State in desperate need of a win and got it today. Here's Allen going to the corner, down at about the 33-yard line by Greg Jones, the outside linebacker. Jones, I mentioned earlier, their leading tackler last season. First freshman to lead this team in tackles since Dan Bass did it back in 1976. That's a long time between freshmen leading the team in tackles, and he's a good one.
I was down there on the field and I took a look at him, and he is really quick. I mean, he can get him. Watch him get to the outside. Look at his feet. I mean, this kid can really move it.
A big-time player right there.
Notre Dame's shortest third down was 3rd and 8 until right here. This one's manageable, at least for Clausen and company. 3rd and 5. Here comes the blitz again. Clausen, that's a lateral, I think.
That's a lateral.
Allen, nobody's on the ball, and it goes out of bounds. Well, all of us got excited, but nobody on the field did.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that really count.
Most of the time, you never want to throw that ball backwards as a quarterback. You always want to get deeper than the receiver.
Here's our city X Factor, guy that plays on a lot of special teams, Mike Anello, former walk-on who's always around the football. This is going to be a 51-yard field goal attempt. And a timeout taken by Michigan State. We'll take it with them. 4th and 6 coming up, and a long field goal attempt when we come back. That's the Michigan Princess, Michigan's only triple-deck riverboat cruise, and you can get about 500 guests on there. They have all kinds of weddings, even had a divorce party at one time on that boat. I bet I know who paid for the divorce party, but it wasn't the missus. Well, this is about 3 yards longer than Brandon Walker's career long. He'll try a 51-yarder. Kick on the way, and it's going to go to the right. No good. So Michigan State can celebrate holding Notre Dame without points with 9:34 remaining in the first half. Charlie Weiss over there on the sideline, cast on the leg, flat top underneath the headset. Yeah, you think about really famous flat tops. You got Roger Maris. You got Johnny U. I mean, that might have been one of the best of all time. You got Chris Mullen. That's a beauty for Chris. He's always kind of had that thing. And Charlie, you know, almost everybody had a flat top in the day. As we doo-wop our way right back here to my partners. There they are. A couple more on top flat tops.
When we were screening this yesterday, we didn't see those two.
Yeah, we kind of keep some things from you guys.
I had what they call a flat head.
Here's a question for you. Flat top, we're back here. Played quarterback for Michigan State.
Earl Morrall.
There you go.
Oh, I beat you by just a that much.
I know you did. That was good, though.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing that we're looking at with both of these offenses, Grease, is there's no consistency. They run a couple of plays, and then they just don't do anything. They lose yardage. I tell you right now, if Michigan State has to punt again, this Notre Dame team, they've been really close to almost every one of these ones blocking it.
But there have been some opportunities for big plays, and the reason nobody's doing anything is because everybody's trying to stop the run, and there are some big things down the field.
Is Hoyer, quick throw out to his tight end, puts his head down and drags would-be tacklers out for about 9 yards. That's Garrett Selleck, the redshirt freshman out of Cincinnati. So now they're going to have a 3rd and 1 here for Michigan State.
You know, I love using the tight end. I mean, you know, they don't catch that many balls. He's only had, I don't know, what, 1 pass catch coming into this ball game. Throw it to these tight ends. They're open. They got linebackers usually on them.
Don Treadwell, the offensive coordinator for Michigan State. You're seeing of the shades and the white cap. 3rd down. Ringer now will have extra blockers, and leading the way will be the fullback as, ooh, I don't know.
He didn't make it.
I don't think he got there.
It looked good for a minute, and then it closed awful quickly.
Justin Brown is one of the guys that closed that hole. And it's going to be 4th down, it appears. And the fans now want to go for it. Mark D'Antonio's not really that kind of coach.
You know, why is it all the fans always want to go for it?
Because they're not coaching.
But they're the first ones that want the coach's head after they miss it.
That's about right. Boy, that was a nice play by Brown.
Yes, it was.
And Ian Williams helped him. And so Aaron Bates will punt. As Paul said, both punters have been getting some heat. This time they got the return set up. And he hits a long spiral down to Armando Allen. Oh, wow. That's punt coverage. Brandon Denson says hello to Armando Allen. He won't forget that one until about Wednesday. .7:53 remaining first half. Been a hard-hitting football game. Just ask Armando Allen. 3-0 Spartans. Earlier we asked you the trivia question. And what 10-time Major League All-Star and National League MVP played defensive back for Michigan State? Steve Garvey in the 60s. Went on to a sensational baseball career. There's Steve on the right-hand side, number 24.
Play that position. He's getting a tackling position. On his toes,
he's squared up. He's squared up. Steve was in town on Tuesday for a speaking engagement. Came over and talked to the football team. They enjoyed that. Michigan State defense enjoying what they're doing. Aldrich stopped by Chris Rucker. Steve Garvey said he told the kids, and Brian Hoyer said it was pretty cool to have a guy say that in all those big baseball games and World Series games and all of that, the toughness he learned as being a defensive back here in football helped him through those times. 2nd down at 10. Boy, it's been tough sledding for both ground games today, even though Javon Ringer's found a few holes, nothing like what he had going for him a week ago. And for Notre Dame, they just can't bust one open yet. Again, down in their own, deep in their own side of the field, and it's intercepted. Otis Wiley's got another one. Second of the day.
You talk about playing the ball. Was that beautiful? Otis Wiley was just looking at the quarterback. He didn't even pay any attention to the receiver. He turned, the ball was thrown, and he catches it. This is just great defense. Otis Wiley now has 4 interceptions. Watch this. Looking at the quarterback. All the way back, the ball thrown short, intercepted.
You know, the amazing thing about that is that Rucker came on a corner blitz and Wiley covered for him.
He had a corner blitz. So the quarterback said, I'll get it to my receiver out there. And Wiley, that's his 9th career interception and the 4th one this year.
At the 22-yard line now. Ringer to the 20. Pick up a 2. Again, look at the previous play. You'll see number 29 on a blitz, and that's number 21 that goes out to help his spot.
The corner here blitzes. This is the Wiley. Watch him. He'll come over and make the coverage.
Talking about helping your friends out. That is good football.
You know
there.
what helps that is because you were on the hash mark. He didn't have a long way to go. You can do that. Blitz the corner if you're on the hash mark to the short side.
Give some credit to Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator, running that play. Hoyer, end zone, not quite out in front, too far. Mark Dell, incomplete. Good coverage by Terrell Lambert. Reminder, near the conclusion of our game today, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevy will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. I got an early nominee for you for Michigan State. Otis, my man, is in the running.
Yeah, the defensive backs are just eating up the receivers at this point in the ball game.
So it's 3rd down and 8 at the 20. 3 wide outs for Brian Hoyer. Brian throws on the run, completes it inside the 15, trying to dive down to the marker. How close did Blair White get? That close. And now on 4th and 1, you're going to hear a lot more of the fans saying, Coach, let's go for it. He might listen this time.
Well, you got a half a yard. And you have a half a yard, and you got a field goal kicker that you know is going to make it, that puts you up 6. But I'll tell you what, as well as this defense for Michigan State is playing, I would go for this. Because they are down there, they've got Notre Dame's pinned down. They'll be at about the 10-yard line.
You got 12,000 pounds of beef up there in the front of Javon Ringer.
Right.
They're going to bring this out and see how close it really is.
And you got Javon.
Coach is buying a little time here. He says, I want to measure it. I want to see how far it is.
Gives them a little more time to think about it, too.
Exactly.
All the way across the field they come. There's a great view of it by our camera guys. And it's about 2 lengths of the football short.
The thing about it is with Javon Ringer is if they put him in behind that big, and they're going to go, they put him in behind that big offensive line, you can't find him, and he runs low anyway.
Well, this would be a great opportunity to fake it to Ringer. You either give it to Ringer on your best play over the right side, or you fake it to him and throw it on a rollout by your quarterback. So if it's not there, quarterback can run for it. I love these 4th and 1s.
How about this? Neither fullback, there are 6 fullbacks in this game. Not one of these fullbacks in 5 games have touched the ball on a running play.
You don't expect that Jeff McPherson is going to run this one either, but he'll be the up man in the eye. The extra tight end, 4th down and 1. Now Selleck, the tight end, on the move, and whistles will halt play here before the snap. Notre Dame took a timeout. So Charlie Weiss waited till the very last moment to see what the formation was going to be. He calls a timeout. We'll take it along with him. Michigan State changed their minds and their play after that Notre Dame timeout. 4th down and a yard. Ringer, second man through, blasts his way to the 5. 1st and goal, Michigan State.
You got to run the ball to the right side.
That was way too easy.
Behind the 2 best offensive linemen, Foreman, 67, comes around and gets a good block.
Miller and Martin are already on that side, and they all got a hat on somebody.
Notre Dame took a timeout defensively, but that also gives the offense a time to think about it, get the best play we can get. They picked a good one.
Now 2 tight ends, and Hawkin, the fullback, also in there from the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. Ringer upended, cartwheels his way to about the 4. Kyle McCarthy made the stop. McCarthy, who's been all over the football field for Notre Dame in the first 2 weeks, their leading tackler, made a nice one there.
From Youngstown, Ohio, may I add?
It's not a big spot to fill. It is a big spot to fill. That was Tom Zibikowski's spot, and he's playing it pretty darn well. A strong safety position for Notre Dame.
In fact, McCarthy led the nation in solo tackles.
Coming into this one.
Yeah.
He had 17. He had one there. He's got 4 already today. 2nd and goal, Michigan State. Hoyer, play action. Going to throw it away. Wise move, get another play out of it. Double coverage down there in the end zone. Pat Kuntz was putting the pressure on it.
Good coverage. 2 guys were out into the corner. Nobody was open. Just throw it away.
I know that the strength of this offensive line is to the right-hand side, but you can't just avoid the left-hand side. You've got to sometime go over there. Notre Dame is loading up on, for them, left, right for Michigan State. They've got to go back to the left side sometime.
So now it's 3rd and goal at the 4. Tight end in the slot, 3 wide receivers. And Hoyer in the shotgun. To the end zone, just off the outstretched fingertips of B.J. Cunningham, and a flag. So they're going to get another opportunity. Terrell Lambert was the guy out there with him.
Pass interference. 20 on the defense. Ball replaced at the 2-yard line.
So it's going to go down half the distance to the 2-yard line. Lambert. And there you see he wraps his arm around his hip.
Yeah, it's the left arm. There's no question about it.
So now you've got 1st and goal. You're about 2 yards away, 6 feet away, and a whole bunch of big guys are going to be in front of number 23, who's looking for his 10th rushing touchdown of the year. Javon Ringer, who's got 9 right now to lead the nation. Got a chance right here for number 10, and he's close, about a foot away. Maurice Crum made the tackle, and it's 2nd down and goal.
They went left. Ta-da!
They're going right, Jack. They're going right, Jack, and they give it off on the left side. We had to get Hank in here. Hank was an assistant coach for a time here at Notre Dame. Not at Michigan State, but at Notre Dame.
Right.
We've got our weekly Coach Stram in there. Down at about the 1-foot line. 2nd and goal. And Michigan State ring up a touchdown for the first time today. Yeah. On 2nd effort. Nope, you didn't get it. Brian Smith really put a lick on, and then Kerry Neal helped him clean up.
That Notre Dame defensive front, the front 7, really doing a nice job. They know they're going to run the football, and they just fill in every gap.
They lost a half a yard.
Well, now they can see the end zone better. They backed up a little bit.
Oh. Okay.
You make your decision as a coach right here, what you're going to do on the next down.
That's right.
If you're going to run it here, you're going to go for it on 4th down if you miss it.
3rd goal. Hawkin in motion. Ringer hit again. This time he's in. Touchdown. Javon Ringer's 10th rushing touchdown of the year.
Boy, and I'll tell you one thing, Ness, they hammered him. He makes a turn in the hole that gets the touchdown. But watch the shot he takes. Now, he just gets whacked. That was Crum that hit him, number 40, but the spin has absolutely helped him get in the end zone.
Mark D'Antonio, when he came in, he said, we're going to be a tough, physical football team, and you know that he was going to run that ball in.
Came up the elevator with a guy that liked tough smash mouth football and running the ball. George Perlis. I said, Coach, this is your kind of game. Just give it to number 23 about 100 times and we'll all go home and have a drink.
There you go.
George was all for that.
They're reviewing this, guys. Yes, they do.
This is a coach's challenge from Charlie Weiss. There's the collision. There's the leg drive. And in that mass of humanity.
Well, that doesn't tell you anything. That tells you nothing. You got to see that ball cross the goal line. But I'll tell you, that number 40, Crum, they talked about him and about the way this guy plays defense. Watch this. He sets, bang. He hits him there. Now, here's the spin. The ball is in Ringer's right hand. Does he get it over the goal line?
The question is, where does his knee hit? Good hit by Crum.
Great hit by Crum.
No, it's touchdown. He's over.
That looks like he's over the line there.
There wasn't any hesitation on the official's part. That was the closest official to the play to signal touchdown.
And to change this, you have to have indisputable visual evidence to change it.
It's easy for you to say.
We haven't seen any of that.
After review, rolling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Brett Swenson now for the point after. So the challenge is lost by the Notre Dame sideline. Michigan State 3:28 remaining in the first half, and this one's going the way they had hoped. Tough, hard-hitting game. Not a lot of offense by either team. That, remember, was only a 22-yard drive, and it took 9 plays, and it really was started by Otis Wiley's second interception of the ball game. Swenson's kick is good. Student body, part of the whiteout over there. They're happy. So is Javon Ringer. 10-0 Michigan State now as we check our ESPNU All-State Standings review. Ohio State, having lost to USC, dropped out of the top 10. Everybody else moved up, inched up a little bit closer. USC idle, so is Oklahoma, as is Wisconsin. We'll see them against Michigan next week. But I got a did you know for you as part of that All-State Standings review. Did you know for the first time since 1985, a team that was a preseason #1, which was Georgia, even though they won 3 games, they dropped down to 3rd. So now style points will come into effect, I suppose. Tonight they take on Arizona State on ABC at 8 o'clock, presented by Southwest Airlines. That'll be a heck of a game, but that's the first time Georgia's gone that far west since Eisenhower was in the White House. So we'll see how they handle that trip.
Now, Keith Jackson had to get USC in first place, didn't he? He said they have ranked higher.
He's getting political on us in this season of
the man doesn't even vote
since the White House.
I got to get these things in for you guys to keep you awake.
Just so make sure we're listening, right?
Yeah.
How about this one? Notre Dame's running backs, 13 rushes, 23 yards total.
That ain't good. Allen from about to 2. Armando Allen, if he gets a corner, he can fly. 25, run out of bounds, so they stay with him pretty well. Chris Rucker ran him stride for stride, but a 28-yard kick return. As we take a look with 3:21 remaining in the half at our Pacific Life game summary so far in the ball game. Stingy defense by Michigan State. Jimmy Clausen, 2 interceptions, and he's been knocked around a little bit. Sacked for the first time. Otis Wiley's got both those picks. Javon Ringer, 70 yards rushing, tough sledding, but the last one was the best one. A yard out. That's where we are. 10-zip. And that's Clausen in the gun. Plenty of time. Deep middles. Got Tate. Tate wheels out to the 46-yard line. Let's check in and get an update with Matt Weiner. Matt.
Thank you, Brad. The Sports Center right now is powered by Vizio. Nice moment for the home team in their final weekend at Yankee Stadium. Robinson Cano's walk-off single gave the Yankees a 1-0 win over Baltimore, which means the Tampa Bay Rays still haven't clinched their first ever playoff appearance yet. The Rays and Twins are currently scoreless in the 3rd and 10.
Seems impossible that Yankee Stadium is coming to a close. And a nice throw. Michael Floyd on a long ball. A long out. Jimmy Clausen put it right on the money, so another Notre Dame first down.
Notre Dame has gone to a no huddle on this series to change the tempo a little bit. I think that's a good move by Charlie Weis. You know, quarterback has to feel comfortable, and I think he saw something in practice, and it's a good move.
Now, all the officials are going to pull the chains out and make sure That was not a first down. Don't forget, coming up in just under 3 minutes, a halftime report of all the scores and highlights for you. It's a couple inches short, actually, of a first down. So I stand corrected on that last throw. Very close. Great catch by Floyd, who had to go up in the air to get it. Charlie talking to his quarterback. He only has one timeout remaining, remember, as you look at your little yellow dashes up there in the corner for Notre Dame. Thanks, Bob. One left.
Well, one of the other things you got to think about, too, if they throw the ball downfield to the right-hand side, the receivers are going to be looking directly back into the sun. So, I mean, in this whole half of the field on our side over here is all shadow.
It is almost completely split, as Paul's talking about there, you see. From right in the middle of the field down, nice and shady. Pretty bright up on the other side.
Play over here in the shade.
2nd and inches. Really doesn't matter. Here comes a blitz. Clausen loads. Really hammered as he let it go, and it's incomplete. That one's going to hurt for a while, too. It was Brandon Long who got him for the first sack of the season against Notre Dame that hit him just when he was throwing that one.
The running backs and quarterbacks in this game tomorrow or today after it's over with, get whatever six-pack you want and sit in the ice for about a day, because you're going to be sore.
Oh, he just ran right around Turkovich, the left tackle.
Now you got to worry about two things a little bit here.
You got to pick up the first down first.
First things first. They get that. Now they can hurry up, try to conserve that timeout. They'll unpile bodies and immediately get back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, in college football, every time you make a first down, the clock stops. So if you don't have any timeouts left, or if you only have one, it's not that big a concern in college football.
They're at the 41 of Michigan State. Clausen trying to get Notre Dame some points before halftime. Another blitz coming. This time he throws out. It was almost the same exact play that Wiley intercepted earlier.
It was the same play. The corner did blitz. That time the wide receiver ran the right route. He just stopped, and Clausen tried to get him the ball, but Wiley was Wiley's a pretty wily old guy.
I'll tell you, he gets a jump on the ball. The guy really does.
Well, he knows what he's doing, and he knows what the quarterback's going to do to take advantage of what he's doing.
That young guy right there's dad knew how to run a 2-minute warning pretty well, didn't he? Nate Montana on the sideline. The throw completed. No gain, though. Chris Rucker's having a pretty good game at corner as well today for Michigan State.
What I'm seeing, Ness, in this game here with Michigan State, these defensive backs, these guys can react. I mean, they just don't even hesitate. They read and go. They just read and go. They don't think. They don't have to. They know where they're going to go.
3rd down and 11. Clock has worked its way under 2 minutes. And now the crowd coming to life. Almost everybody in white in this stadium today. Pressure. Clausen got away from one, but not the other. 2nd sack of the day. Brandon Long and Jeremy Ware, a loss of 8.
And the sacks start mounting. None coming into the ball game. Going to come from the left side over here.
It'll be Jeremy Ware, number 9. Watch him come in from the outside. Nobody blocked him, just speed.
Michigan State's going to take a timeout.
Yeah, when you're the first couple of games when you're ahead, you don't get the sacks. But when you're behind and you have to throw from behind, that's when the sacks can mount.
Hey, you'd look good green or white.
Fellas, Monday night.
Yes, sir. We'll be watching.
Eric Moss to punt. Otis Wiley waits and takes a fair catch at the 10-yard line with 1:17 remaining in the first half. Don't forget, big game coming up tonight on ABC. Sean Marino and the Georgia Bulldogs going out west, taking on Dennis Erickson's Arizona State Sun Devils. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines on ABC at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Sean Marino, there's his numbers on the season, averaging almost 7 yards a carry and already 7 touchdowns.
It's a redemption game for Arizona State.
Yeah.
Got beat last week, and I'm sure Dennis Erickson is telling him, all right, guys, You got embarrassed last week. This is your chance. You only have to wait 1 week to get nationally recognized by beating a top 10 team.
Ringer high steps it through the middle, and Javon Ringer's out for 9 more yards. Kyle McCarthy made the stop. We're down to a minute here in East Lansing. Home team in this series that dates back to 1897. Home team hasn't won in 7 years. Trying to change that today is a Michigan State team that's got a field goal and a Javon Ringer 1-yard touchdown. And they lead 10-0 here in the final minute. And they're just going to let time wind its way down. They'll be happy in the locker room and be planning for the 3rd and 4th quarters. Notre Dame, meanwhile, has got to get in there, regroup, make sure they don't turn the ball over in the second half, and try to get some offense mustered in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Ringer, first down for Javon. That might just about do it for the half.
If Notre Dame's going to do anything in this second half, they better figure out a way to run the football.
Only people that aren't wearing white are way up there, guys, in that section wearing the navy blue and gold up there at Notre Dame on the far side of the field.
Yep.
And they're not happy up there.
A little sunny.
Going to be a long walk for Charlie Weiss to the locker room, too, unless they get him a golf cart out there to give him a little help. First half winding down. There's those Notre Dame fans way up there. Those tickets cost a lot, too. But Michigan State trying to spoil Notre Dame's 2-0 start to the season. They're halfway to it as we head down to Stacey Dale. Stace.
Oh, Coach, why has your defense been successful getting to Clawson?
Well, I think we're tackling well. We're pressuring the defense. Coach Narduzzi's doing some great calls out there. And our guys are playing. You know, we're playing with a lot of emotion.
Coach, assess the rhythm of your offense so far.
Well, we got 10 points. So we just keep running the football. We've had some drops out there. You know, if we got to convert the drops, but, you know, we'll stay balanced.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Back to you, Brad.
A tough football coach and a tough football team in the first half. They've got a 10-0 halftime lead. Just about set to start the 3rd quarter here in East Lansing. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Stacey Dale's down on the sidelines. I know one thing, boys. You can't win a football game with 32 yards rushing at halftime.
You know, and Notre Dame tried to run the ball up the middle and couldn't. I mean, they didn't get anything up the middle. Go outside. Don't be afraid to go. Open that defense up a little bit.
Jimmy Clausen picked off twice, Bob.
It's like last year. I mean, it's like the sacks are back, the interceptions are back. This is a pretty good defense they're playing on the road again. You know, they need to come out and establish himself. He's more poised and more confident than any time he was at last year.
And Javon Ringer in Michigan State will be getting the football first. Charlie Weiss out there after, I'm sure, trying to get his troops in gear and make some adjustments in the second half that will get him some points. Meanwhile, all the folks clad in white today, happy with what they've seen for a half. Let's see what the 3rd and 4th quarters bring us. Javon Ringer on the kick return from the 5. And out across the 25, close to the 27-yard line for Javon, who had a good first half. He was most of the offense for Michigan State. As we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary, statistically in the first half, only 149 total yards for the Spartans. But remember, they turned one of Otis Wiley's 2 interceptions into 7. And those 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions by Clausen, both to Wiley, were huge for Notre Dame because they made their way into Michigan State territory. They just couldn't do anything with it.
4 times out of 7 possessions.
And no points
to show for it. First down, 27. It's a stretch play. Ringer, and nice open field tackle by Harrison Smith. He's had a nice game. Paul mentioned him earlier. He's kind of a hybrid big safety outside linebacker type, but he made a nice play there. Statistically, the leaders in the first half. It's been another tough day for Hoyer as far as his completion percentage, but he hasn't thrown an interception. Ringer 82 yards and a score, and Dell 1 catch, 22 yards. There's the first half. They got great field position, opened up with a field goal, and then got great field position from Wiley's interception, and Ringer turned that into a touchdown. Ashton Leggett is checked into the backfield for the first time to give Ringer a little breather. Hoyer back to throw, completes it. Short gain, maybe no gain. About 3 to Hawken, Andrew Hawken, the fullback, getting a little touch on the ball. Ringer might have gotten dinged up a little bit on that last carry.
Looked like they may be looking at his lower leg or a foot.
Boy, and you know, when we talk so much about Ringer, you just can't even afford to think about losing this guy.
At 18 carries in the first half.
Third down now, 12. Brian Hoyer's hit 6 different receivers today. Back to throw on third down. Diving attempt out there, but incomplete. Blair White stretched as far as he could in front of that Notre Dame bench, but that one was too far out in front of him. So a white out in East Lansing. Way up on that far end, a little bit of blue and gold, but they haven't had much to cheer about for Notre Dame.
He's telestrating all over the place.
That's where they put. Now they just don't do that for Notre Dame. When Michigan State goes to Notre Dame, I mean, they give them the cheap seats in the end zone and up high and out of the way. They do that in every stadium in America.
Aaron Bates to punt. Hung it up high. Fair catch. Armando Allen's going to take it at about the 35-yard line. This has been one of those old-fashioned type of games. A lot of blocking and tackling, and
hit that old baby.
You got to hit that old baby.
Eyes open. Oh, hit him hard in that.
There you go, Newt.
Come on, Chris. Come on, O'Brien.
Newt Rockney. Oh, there, I love that one too. The tackling dummy. Did you see that sled? How hard do you think that was thing to hit? Made out of wood. Newt Rockney showing them how.
What year you think that was?
1938 when I was born.
the old tackling dummy and the blocking sled.
Oh boy, that's beautiful stuff. Here's a 4 receiver set, and now the tackle comes out of his stance, and instead of having 1st and 10, it's going to be 1st and 15. Jimmy Clausen gives Sam Young a little tap on the side of the helmet. You look at the offensive leaders for Notre Dame, there's not a lot to talk about there. Clausen 50%, but 2 of them went to the wrong guys. They just could not rush the ball at all. And Golden Tate has been pretty impressive, the wide receiver. Their possessions, though, all involve either turnovers or something to do with kicking the football.
Yeah, the 3rd and the 7th, 3rd and the 6th possession both had interceptions, and the 6th one led to the touchdown by Michigan State.
They called that penalty on Michigan State for jumping into the neutral zone, not on Notre Dame. So now they got a better position. 1st and 5. Clausen incomplete. Intended for Michael Floyd. And it'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Interesting that Notre Dame comes out after talking about this game in the at halftime, comes out in the first formation, spread formation, throwing the football.
4 and 5 guys in the pattern for Clausen so far. As you look in behind the Notre Dame offense, you'll see Clausen step back into the shotgun again. Michigan State might bring some pressure here. The backfield is empty other than the sophomore quarterback. Quick throw, far side, completes, and it's Floyd. He's out of bounds, and he's got a 1st down. Ross Weaver knocked him out of bounds.
What that does, Brad, it helps a young quarterback read the coverage in the sense that you're spreading 5 of your guys out from right to left, and they have to take some of their defensive guys, 5 of them, and cover them. So you can look over there like an X-ray, and you can see very clearly what the defense is doing.
Notre Dame, good field position here. Again, with everybody spread out, and they empty Allen out of that backfield. They like to throw screens to him on occasion. They'll come the other way, complete Paris, and Paris down to the 46-yard line as we get on to Stacy.
Well, Brad, I still don't have an official injury report on Javon Ringer, but he has not sat down. He hasn't really been assessed by the medical staff. He's been walking around on his foot, looking at it, and really just doing some juke moves. He's been moving around on it, really trying to find out what's wrong. It clearly looks like he'll be back in this football game without a problem, Brad.
Well, we hope so. There's Javon on the sideline. Like to get back out there right now. He's watching his defense as Notre Dame's got 2nd down and 4. Back in Spartan territory. Blitz, quick throw, good one by Clausen, and a 1st down to the 35. Again, the blitz came up the middle, and Clausen threw it right by there.
Blitz up the middle. Clausen sees it and gets rid of the football.
Pickup of 11 that time. So they're down to the 35. This is about the best they've done today.
Not so much for running the ball.
Well, they couldn't do it anyway, so they got to try something else. Their adjustment is the spread that Bob's talking about, and it's working right now for them.
Here they come again.
Notre Dame picks up that blitz. Allen, tough yardage. 1st down after the throw down to the 22-yard line. Give the offensive line credit for Notre Dame there, because there was a whole bunch of green jerseys coming.
Yeah, what they're doing, if they're going to spread, they're going to blitz the guy. Now, the thing you need to do is just throw the ball quickly before the blitz gets to you. All your linemen block down. You let the outside guys go. And your quarterback's got to get rid of the football before the outside guy gets to you.
This is the Irish deepest penetration into Michigan State territory. First down at the Spartan 22-yard line. Again, the heat from the corners. Allen on the quick swing. And he's down to the 20-yard line. So now Armando Allen really getting involved in the offense here, coming out of that backfield catching passes.
And what you got, too, with Michigan State's defense, Bob was saying, you have everybody's man on man. And what they're doing with the man on man, they're taking the linebackers that they have in the game, Michigan State, and they're blitzing them.
Second down and 8, right at the 20-yard line. Jimmy Clausen licks both hands, has a look at that defense, and takes the snap in the shotgun again. Deep out, got it, nice throw. Out to Floyd, he dropped the ball. Michigan State saying they've got it. They might. They do. Ross Weaver made the hit. Floyd, the freshman, put it on the turf. And another threat goes by the boards for Notre Dame.
Well, this is a perfect throw, Bob. I mean, it's outside right where it needs to be.
Like you said, Brad, true freshman Floyd makes the catch. Oh, he just drops the ball. I'll tell you what.
Did he have possession?
You're going to play in this league, those guys are going to hit you.
Yep.
You need to be tough. It's not about just playing pitch and catch, but after you catch it, those guys are going to try and strip the ball.
Well, that one's not on Jimmy Clausen. Like Paul said, that was a perfect throw. Ringer's back in there. Here is Javon. Out to the 20-yard line. Give him about 6 more.
This game is just the opposite, Brad, of what happened with Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium last week with Michigan. Michigan turned it over 6 times early in the game and just gave Notre Dame great field position, and they took advantage of it. They turned the ball over 3 times a day. They're not going to win by turning the football over.
So second down at 4. Ringer in the eye, 2 tight ends set again, and straight up the middle. And he high steps his way out to what looks like a first down. And boy, Javon Ringer loves carrying the football, and he loves having a coach like Mark D'Antonio helping him along the way.
He got a half a yard.
He's affected my career by giving me more of a chance to be able to show what I could do by bringing in the system that he has. And Coach D, I got to thank him because he really likes to put the ball in my hands, and that's something that I can really appreciate.
Well, I'm sure Mark appreciates the 87 yards and the touchdown, too.
It's a mutual admiration.
Yes, there is.
Society.
Well, you know, when we're talking about him, too, and down on the sidelines before the game, and you look at him, you look at the respect that this offensive line has for him. I mean, they always talk to him. They have their eyes on him all the time, and they're always patting him on the head. Of course, he's a little too short, so they can't pat him anywhere else.
Well, he's done some kind of job up the middle of things today. As I said, he gets those legs churning and a high stepping motion. And even though he went out for a couple of plays and we were wondering whether he'd be back in, Stacy said he would be, and he is. And now they come up 3rd down and inches. Brian Hoyer's going to have to do this one himself. I don't know. Didn't get much, but he got enough. He got enough. He just went up to Joel Nitchman and Roland Martin and said, boys, let's go.
Yeah, he said if you do it for him, for Ringer, you should be able to do it for me for a half an inch.
So Michigan State's got a first down. 9:40 remaining. 3rd quarter. Michigan State pitching a shutout right now. Big plays. 2 interceptions by Otis Wiley. A fumble recovery moments ago when it looked like Notre Dame was going to get some points. And all those turnovers came in Michigan State territory, and they have kept the Spartans in front. Now Ringer flushes out of that backfield. Hoyer, quick slant, got it, completes. First down, Mark Dell. And Dell's still not down. Oh, look out. So they're playing to the whistle and then some, aren't they?
Hey, you got guys standing around. You're going to somebody's going to take a shot at you.
Tell you what, I like the looks of Mark Dell, guys. They had a great wide receiver here last year. They had a great tight end, and they need somebody to fill those spots. He's starting to fill them.
Kellen Davis is gone. So is Devin Thomas. Now we need a target. And Mark Dell is that main target this year so far.
Mentioned earlier, had a 202-yard game on 9 catches against Cal. 2 catches today, but keeping that average way up there. flags fly in from all over the place. Ian Williams on top of Brian Hoyer. And Tom Zick will have the call.
Offside. 95 defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Ian Williams right on the football. Supposed to know where that football is. Well, Bob, I know you're going to be happy. The drama, the romance, it's all coming back. Season premiere that you've been waiting for. Grey's Anatomy returns 2-hour TV event Thursday at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
I'm not in it for the drama and the romance.
You're in it for the romance. What are you in it for?
I'm in it for the technical part of it.
Here's Ringer breaking free. Javon Ringer all the way down to the 28-yard line. And he's over 100. 25 more right there.
Ness, this is what we talked about way before about this young man. You watch him pick his spot. Watch him just wait. You talk about patience in a runner. He knows he's got these guys out in front of him. Watch, he slides. Now he sees the hole. Okay, come on up. Now watch. Boom, he's going to slide again back to the outside. He just picks his spots.
How many tackles did he run through?
3.
First down at the 28. He'll get it again. This time some tough yardage, about 3 more to the 25. I guess when he was down there and Stacy was watching him looking at his 2 feet, I think he was talking to him saying, which one of you two is going to get me through the next hole?
You know, the thing Stacy said, though, too, about the players, this kid's not even mentioned as a Heisman candidate. He has a bunch. He has 10 touchdowns so far this year. Somewhere along the line, his name is going to be mentioned.
I love it when they get in the huddle right next to those big offensive linemen. They're about half as big as those guys.
Second down, 7. Ring, ring, ring. 2 more for Javon. He's got 39 yards just on this drive. Big Ten today, everything's just about over, or is. Purdue will winner, Bob. Ohio State, Terrell Pryor, 4 touchdown passes. Minnesota a winner. Pittsburgh edges Iowa by 1. Northwestern and Penn State another romp over Temple.
I tell you what, I think Ohio State may have found and settled on a new quarterback.
Boy, I guess. 4 touchdown passes. I think he was 11 out of 16, and he rushed for 66 or 67 yards on the game that I was watching earlier before ours. Quick throw on the slant, complete. Blair White. And Michigan State's got it rolling. Pickup of 11. Boy, if they go down and make this a touchdown after Notre Dame had the ball at about the 13-yard line, that's about a 14-point swing.
It's a killer. It's a killer. Quick passing, 3-step drop, 1, 2, 3, fire slant. Receiver get inside your defensive back and catch the football.
That has really been Brian Hoyer's best throw today. Those quick slants.
Yep.
Blair White 2 catches today, both on 3rd down. Now it's 1st down, and it's Ringer to the 9. John Ryan made the stop.
The other thing, too, Ness, look at that clock. I mean, they take the ball, and they got a drive going. They've already run off 4 minutes off of this clock. They have not put the ball on the ground, even in a passing situation, that stops this clock. And that's when you control the clock and control the game, you win the game.
Absolutely.
All right, who brought that? Whose personality is that?
That guy right over there in the middle headset.
Mark D'Antonio.
That's right.
He loves this. Smash mouth, physical, offense, eat up the clock. Take care of the football.
Play action. Hoyer down close to the 2-yard line. Mark Dell. Kyle McCarthy with the hit. Well, today, mostly number 23, Javon Ringer, has been the guy. And you know, you talk about 23s and famous 23s in Michigan State history. I wonder, did you know, fellas, of somebody that wore number 23 that was pretty famous here and then became famous in another sport?
Yeah.
How about Kirk Gibson?
There you go.
23 as a Dodger, 23 as a wide receiver, and a damn good one here at Michigan State.
I don't believe what I just saw.
That's right. 3rd down and 8. Hoyer pump fakes and now fires, flags down at the 12-yard line at the line of scrimmage. B.J. Cunningham was the intended receiver.
Legal motion.
No preliminary indication. It apparently was a false start.
Legal formation.
Illegal formation.
On the offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
So 4th down. And the field goal unit will come on to try to just chip away and add 3 more. You know he's not going to be happy, Coach D'Antonio, with that penalty in that position on the field. But at any rate, this should be a chip shot for Brett Swenson, who hit one earlier. This will be a 26-yard attempt. He's 3 out of 4 on the year and hit one from 45 earlier that would have been good from Kalamazoo. Swenson up and good. Add 3 more to Michigan State. They're only about 20 minutes away from that home team jinx in this series. They lead 13-0.
Hey, Vincent! ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Best Buy.
This ESPN presentation of college football on ABC, available in high definition. Zeke's on the sidelines. Notre Dame's got Golden Tate, and the Spartans got a Golden Lab. He's shagging down frisbees during timeouts.
He was having a good time.
Yes, he was. Todd Bolesky's got it teed up. Golden Tate, who I just spoke of, the other number 23, who's had a pretty good day. Back deep for Notre Dame. This one will go, though, to Armando Allen right at the goal line. Stood up at the 25-yard line by Greg Jones. And that's where Notre Dame's got to get something going when we come back. They're down 13-0. Sparty's been around since 1943. They touched Sparty on the way in for good luck. Will the luck hold the next 20 minutes for Michigan State? We'll find out. Here's Notre Dame from the 25. Nice open field tackle. Danny Fortner from the secondary. 7th time Notre Dame running backs have been stopped for no gain or a loss in the ball game. That's how bad the ground game has been.
I'm just so impressed with the pursuit of Michigan State's defense, starting with the linebackers and, you know, the back 7. They really moved to the ball.
So 2nd down and 10, and again the spread out there with Clausen in the gun. Looks to the right, wants to come back to the left to his safety valve, Allen, and he got it to him, and Allen made something out of nothing there. As we check in, Matt Weiner in New York. Matt.
All right, Brad, Boise State has never beaten a BCS conference team on the road, but in this Verizon Wireless update, it's Kellen Moore who's been picking apart the Oregon Ducks all afternoon. Vinny Peretta on the other end of this 73-yard hookup, 34-13, the Broncos leading at Autzen Stadium.
Boy, I knew Oregon was going to be in a battle, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad.
Yeah.
Not at Autzen. 34-13. Here, 13-0. Michigan State. Jimmy Clausen is going to go over and talk it over. Timeout, Notre Dame. 4:17 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Notre Dame a little bit confused and dazed. They're down 13-0.
Summer.
Head coach on the left, offensive coordinator Mike Haywood on the right, calling the shots. Let's see what he's dialed up for Notre Dame. On 3rd down and 7. Blitz coming from the corner again. Clausen in trouble again. Throwing it away as he's going down.
Intentional grounding. Intentional grounding.
Been a tough day for the sophomore quarterback.
Boy, was this a great call. I mean, they sent a whole bunch of people, even though they spread it out.
Here's the thing that Clausen's got to see. The corner on the short side of the field. Whenever you're on that hash mark, you got to look at him. Watch him. He comes and he blitzes, and what the inside guy is going to be the guy that causes the problem. Rucker was the corner on the short side of the field.
So now 4th down. Punting situation for Moss from his own end zone. Not a good spot. Well, Michigan State looks like they've got the return on. They have gotten close a couple times today. Otis Wiley camps under this one at the 41-yard line. Wiley slips at midfield, took himself down, but he's in Notre Dame territory at the 49. And he knows he might have had something working there if he could have kept his footing. Well, reminder, coming up Dover tomorrow. Chase for the Sprint Cup. Race number 2. It starts tomorrow on ABC. 1 o'clock Eastern Time. He is for Dover. And D'Antonio in his second year.
What a job he's done. They got a new facility.
Boy, is it beautiful.
Beautiful new facility.
At the 49-yard line. Play action and now an end around. B.J. Cunningham. And a flag goes in. We're going to have a holding call, I think. And it's going to negate a pretty good gain on the play.
73 offense.
It was
10-yard penalty.
Roland Martin.
First down.
And so that'll back Michigan State up into their own end of the field. You know, you talk about the new complex. Used to be the old Duffy Doherty building. We'd be sitting over there on wooden chairs and all of that stuff. And here's a guy that says, I could have been a Rhodes Scholar except for my grades. That would fit all of us up here, yeah. I think, and probably everybody down in the truck. And who said that? Duffy Doherty did.
Oh, yeah.
Duff had great teams here, especially back in the 60s with Bubba Smith and George Webster and Clint Jones and Gene Washington and Jimmy Ray. And
you just ruined my day.
Yeah, I know I did. I mentioned a couple of those guys that you put in the Hall of Fame. Here's the throw, complete. Nope, incomplete. Out of the hands of Mark Dell. And Brian Hoyer, not a great day statistically again, but again, he has not made an error that has led to a turnover. Jimmy Clausen has a couple of times.
Ness, when we walked into Mark D'Antonio's office, and this guy came in, we're waiting on him, and he sits down. You know, he's the most calming factor I've ever seen. He just, I mean, he's there and he demands your respect and you listen to him, but he is so quiet about everything.
Well, he even frowns when he's smiling, which is kind of hard to do. It takes more muscles. Second down and long, swing pass, tough catch. Ringer made a catch. 2 guys missed. That took 4 to get him down, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. That was a lot of work for nothing.
That was the best no yardage pass I've ever seen. He avoided about 3 or 4 tackles.
Well, first of all, the ball draws a crowd, and second of all, Ringer draws a crowd. So now they got two entities in the same spot, and they got him.
About the only thing that got a smile out of Mark yesterday. I said, so how's that having 2 teenage daughters now working out for you? That got a grin on his face. Kristen and Lauren, his little girls are 15 and 13. His wife Becky, they love it here because he was an assistant here under Nick Saban. And so they're kind of back where they were born and started to grow up before he went to Ohio State and Cincinnati. Streak down the middle, incomplete. That could have been a big play for B.J. Cunningham. The throw was not quite where it had to be as we check in with Stacy.
They're talking about Coach D'Antonio and what kind of a leader he is. Well, he gets his players to be leaders, and you have them read a book. This is the book he read this year. It's the 21 indispensable qualities of a leader. He basically had every position team, every position coach take over a chapter, and in that chapter they had to come back and tell the team what it meant, and the players really are united this year, you could say, Brad.
Nothing like a good book report, huh?
Yes, sir.
Here's a punting situation. Nice kick. Chases Allen back to about the 7. Allen broke a tackle, 20. And out to the 25. Nifty little return.
Somebody for Notre Dame has got to make a play, and Allen is one of the guys on a punt return that can do that.
52-yard punt and an 18-yard return. Well, we're here. We've been talking about Sparty and all of that. Did you know that Stanley Kubrick used a recording of the cheering from the 59 Notre Dame MSU game for the movie Spartacus? And I mean, you had to have some noise because over the top of Kirk Douglas talking to you. That's Willie Stroud over there on the side, isn't it?
Yes.
Great athlete in his own right. Great movie. Kirk. First down at the 25. Clausen again. All kinds of pressure on him, and he throws it away again.
Yeah, Notre Dame likes screen passes, and Michigan State is all over those screen passes.
Well, Notre Dame has felt the heat all day, or Jimmy Clausen, I should say, has. Sacked twice by Brandon Long and pressured numerous other times and hit after he throws. He's just looking for a place to hide right now. So all that statistics about the first 2 games of the season that they hadn't had a sack. After 58 last year, it's blowing up here on him a little bit again today. Jimmy's back there on 2nd down and 10 in the gun. Here's a quick throw out. Robbie Parrish made one guy miss, and he's out to the 30-yard line. A pickup of 5 as we pick up Matt Weiner in New York. Matt.
All right, Brad, like Clausen, Terrell Pryor knows something about being an anticipated blue chip kind of quarterback. He's our nominee for the AT&T ESPN All-American Player of the Week after his very first start as a Buckeye. 4 touchdown passes this afternoon as they pulled away eventually to beat Troy. Text vote to 51234 on your AT&T wireless telephone and cast your vote.
Right now, Jimmy Clausen wishing he was having the kind of day Pryor had for Ohio State. 3rd down. Long throw, and he got it. Completes Michael Floyd. They really like Michael Floyd. Came out of the same high school in St. Paul, Minnesota that Chris Wenke did. And went on to, of course, a career at Florida State. Played some baseball. Joe Mauer went to school there.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't leading the American League in batting for the Minnesota Twins, he'd be a heck of a quarterback someplace. So they've had some guys to throw to receivers, but they never had a receiver come out of Minnesota, I don't think, other than maybe Larry Fitzgerald, a guy like this. They really are high on him.
Problem is he's a true freshman, and he doesn't run those routes, doesn't get the timing right, dropped the ball a little earlier, fumbled it. Just needs to toughen up a little bit.
1st down, Clausen down the middle. Nice throw. Complete to Kyle Rudolph. You talk about freshmen. Here's another freshman, true freshman, playing tight end. First freshman tight end ever to start a season opener for Notre Dame.
How about this guy? 6'6", 255 pounds, freshman.
But if Notre Dame is going to get back in this ball game, it's going to be on the arm of Jimmy Clausen, throwing to these young receivers.
Yeah, they're back in Michigan State territory. That's been the bad news. Every time they get in there, they either turn it over or end up giving it up on downs. At the 44. Here comes a blitz right up the middle. Complete out to Tates. Oof. He took a wicked hit after a pickup of about 4. Johnny Adams out there to make the stop. We got a flag down in the backfield.
Personal foul. 55 defense. Roughing the passer. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
So that Michigan State defense that's been teeing off on Jimmy Clausen all day long, teed off a little bit too late. Decker, number 55, you'll see coming up the middle with the late hit.
Decker Dexon, watch this. He has a clean shot. It's already been, you know, the ball's thrown. There's no reason to hit the quarterback. You have time to get away. Watch, you have time. Well, you know, but here's the part he threw him to the ground.
Now you got to let him go. I mean, your momentum, maybe your momentum forces you to hit him, but you can't take him down like that.
Robert Hughes behind Clausen, who's not in the shotgun now. Fakes it to him, throws it down the middle on the post, and broken up at the 4-yard line by Danny Fortner. A diving play by number 33, Fortner.
Great play by Fortner. That was a good throw and a good route. Fortner is playing because of Kendall Davis-Clark. Their starting free safety is out with an injury.
They hope to have him back as soon as next week.
You know, look what Fortner does here. He does not try to intercept the ball. All he wanted to do is get his hand on it and knock it down.
6 straight passes on this drive for Notre Dame. See if they make it 7 in a row. It sure looks like it with the formation that's there. 2nd and 10, quick strike out to Parrish, but he's dropped for a loss of a yard. Johnny Adams out there on the corner made the hit.
I'm impressed with the tackling of this Spartan defense. Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator, doing a great job getting his guys ready to play.
They have put up 4 fingers. They want to control the 4th quarter and get the home win. We'll find out when we come back.
Overcome the big man gonna try. Overcome the big man, everybody step aside. Move it on over, oh, let the big man by.
Javon Ringer, they're loving him after 3 quarters, 118 yards, an all-important touchdown, because touchdowns are hard to come by in this one. Notre Dame needs one. This might be 2-down territory. 3rd down, 11 to start the 4th quarter at the Michigan State 26. Clausen Gonna go for all of it in the corner. Floyd got it. Touchdown. What a catch. That's why they like him so much.
Well, you can't throw this one much better. He throws it out to the outside to give the freshman a chance to get it, and he just out-jumps Adams.
Freshman on freshman.
Floyd is 6'3", Adams is 5'11".
Brandon Walker for the point after. And just one play into the fourth quarter, Notre Dame has made it a football game. They've been waiting for 3 quarters for something good to happen, and you can't do it, as Bob said, a heck of a lot better than Jimmy Clausen and Michael Floyd just did.
Well, it's also, you know, that's a perfect throw.
26-yard touchdown pass. Don't go away. Now we got a ball game. 13-7. 75 yards in 8 plays, all pass plays. Jimmy Clausen hooks up to Michael Floyd, 26 yards. And all of a sudden, Notre Dame in the football game, trailing now just by 6. Burkhart to kick. Javon Ringer waits on the other end. Short kick, going to have to hustle to get to it. Jimerson, A.J. Jimerson, he almost split everybody, and a 23-yard return out to about the 39-yard line. Remember, Stacy was talking about this one earlier. Take you back 2 years ago. Michigan State had the big lead. All of a sudden, Samardzija and Quinn and company took over. Notre Dame comes flying back on this field and wins it 40-37 to give Charlie Weis a dramatic and thrilling comeback victory. Now, can they come back in a much lower scoring game and overtake Michigan State, who has led the entire way? We're about ready to find out in the next 14:45. Hoyer throwing, got a man wide open at the 40 is Mark Dell. Dell down to the 32-yard line. So just when the quarterbacks needed to get involved, they're starting to get involved. First Jimmy Clausen, and now the senior who's got his last shot at Notre Dame on that throw.
And like we said, the visiting team has won on this field the last, what, 7 times? And Notre Dame has won on this field 15 of the last 18 times they've been here.
Ball at the 32-yard line. Who's going to get the ball here?
Oops. 23.
23.
You know, I said with Notre Dame, you need to run the ball. They must have just at halftime said, you know what, we can't run the ball. Let's just throw it. Forget about it.
And they have been throwing it pretty well in this quarter. And now it is Ringer on the toss sweep. Hitting the backfield. Notre Dame knows exactly what we're talking about. And Crum is the guy that finishes it off. Maurice Crum, the captain of the defense. His daddy was a great one at Miami. He didn't even like football when he was young. He said, my dad just said, well, you know, try to get used to it a little bit. Well, he's used to it now. He's one of the best around, number 40. First play is made right there by McCarthy, and then here comes Crum with a shoestring tackle, and it drops Ringer back almost to the 39-yard line. 2 tight ends now for Hoyer, and Dell in motion toward the ball. Bryant loads and goes complete out in the flat. And it's Selleck, the tight end, who got back to about the line of scrimmage. Let's check in with Stacy.
Well, Brad, Charlie Weis has called upon more emotion from his players this year. They've always seen him as more of a militaristic style, and he's actually told them, I want you guys to play with more emotion. Well, I can tell you, standing behind their bench after that last timeout, that they absolutely erupted. They're focused right now. They're expecting to win here on the road.
Charlie says, my first couple of years, it's probably a mistake I made, bringing the straight-laced approach from the NFL and not letting the kids have enough fun. He wants them to have more fun. They're having fun now, but it's not so fun when Mark Dell catches another 14-yard pass.
Boy, I'll tell you, when Hoyer just decides he's got to unload the ball, it gets there in a hurry. He just winds up and fires. Take a look at Mark Dell. Watch how fast this ball gets there. There's nobody there to help.
How about that move by Dell coming off the line of scrimmage?
Just to get off the line of scrimmage. That was impressive. He's a true sophomore. And Dell, and you can see how Hoyer's fired up. Little slant to the inside, first down.
Bryant threw 4 touchdown passes in this matchup with Notre Dame a year ago. Hasn't had one yet here today. Ringer trying to get to the corner. Javon dragged down by Robert Blanton, another freshman. Nice play defensively, but still it's 6 more yards for number 23.
Did you see Ringer stay in bounds? I mean, it didn't look like much. He picked up about 7 yards, but the one thing that he did do, he didn't go out of bounds to stop the clock at all. He just stayed in bounds.
Clock continues to run down to the 12-minute mark. Spartans have answered Notre Dame's touchdown with a drive down to the Irish 11-yard line.
And don't think that Notre Dame is not going to be coming here. Blitzing on the outside.
Here they come. Ringer's going to try to run through it, and he got maybe a yard. That blitzing of Notre Dame, not that they didn't blitz in the past, but with a new assistant head coach in John Tenuta, they start blitzing when they get off the bus usually.
Yeah. Corbin Brown is the defensive coordinator. John Tenuta, the assistant head coach of defense. Those two guys working together have made this defense a lot more aggressive than it has been in the past.
There's Corwin on the sideline. John Tenuta is up in the press box.
What a great player Corwin was, huh?
Yes, he was. 7th play of the Spartan drive, and a huge 3rd down and 2.
Single coverage.
Ringer's got the first down and more. 1st and goal, Michigan State.
Well, I tell you, these guys block for this guy. I mean, they come up into that hole. Roland Martin, number 73, gets an outstanding block. These guys, I mean, they know what they have behind them. They know how good a runner he is. Now, just watch him block for him. Number 73 is going to be Martin. He pulls out into the hole, bang, and there's the hole.
So now, 1st and goal at the 2. They got everybody with size in front of Javon Ringer, who gets the toss sweep. Ringer bounced outside by Notre Dame, heading to the pylon, didn't quite get there. David Bruton made the stop. There's John Tenuta, longtime assistant at Georgia Tech, where he loved to blitz, and his defenses were great defenses. With Chan Gailey moving on,
I think
being
Charlie
replaced. John came here.
I think Charlie got to know John Tenuta last year when he played Georgia Tech.
Exactly.
And he had to go against that Georgia Tech defense.
Yep, that's right. 2nd down and goal. So now they got 2 fullbacks in there, Hawken and McPherson. Here's a power I. Ringer bounced, didn't get there. Notre Dame, nice job defensively, and it's going to be 3rd down and goal. And John's club is hanging in there. His defensive unit trying to make Javon Ringer earn everything that he gets, especially down close. Remember, the 1-yard touchdown he had on the other end of the field, that one became a coach's challenge by Charlie Weiss because he didn't think he was in. Now it's 3rd and goal. And this is a 5-minute drive that if they end it with a touchdown, it's going to be huge.
I can call this defense. Everybody
again,
line up in the gap and take it.
Again, 2 tight ends, 2 fullbacks. And on 3rd down, Ringer is hitting the backfield. Down he goes.
That is just great defense.
Brian Smith, Scott Smith, every Smith you can think of was there to meet him. And he's still down. Javon Ringer didn't get it, and now the field goal unit comes on, and Javon is still not up. And he looks like he's favoring his foot again, which is what we thought was the problem the first time. Watch the Notre Dame defense come up with a goal line stand. The hit inside, then Brian Smith forces it outside. Scott Smith cleans up, and Javon Ringer still down. Well, he's coming out on his own, but now, after having a 1st and goal at the 2, it's Brett Swenson to come in for another field goal.
Looked to me like his pride was hurt and not his body.
That could be. This, though, would give Michigan State a lead of 9, and it would force 2 scores for Notre Dame. Big field goal for Swenson. And he's perfect with it. Swenson's field goal has added 3 more. Will 16-7 hold up? We welcome those of you that have been watching Texas A&M and Miami We're in East Lansing, Michigan on a picture-perfect day. The 72nd renewal of the Spartans of Michigan State and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Notre Dame scored their only touchdown about 5 minutes ago on a Jimmy Clausen touchdown pass to Michael Floyd. But Michigan State just came right back with a drive of 54 yards in 11 plays to have the answer for him, and that was a Brett Swenson field goal that now has given Michigan State a 9-point lead. And we've got 9 minutes and 10 seconds to play.
How many running plays do you think you're going to see?
Not a lot anymore.
Not many.
So Brett Swenson's kicks have been big. Jimmy Clausen knows what he's got in front of him now. And Todd Bolesky will tee it up and kick it away to Armando Allen and Golden Tate. You know that one of those two would love to get a little bit of a crease and make a big play on special teams. Number 23 is very capable, and so is number 5 flanking him back there. Let's see if they can do something with it. The kick's going to be too good. Forget it. Out of the end zone. So Notre Dame's got to start at the 20-yard line again. And our Pacific Life game summary, things have not gone swimmingly for Notre Dame today, but they have for Michigan State. Javon Ringer, 124 yards on the ground, a 1-yard touchdown. He was just denied another touchdown before that field goal. Jimmy Clausen, tough first half, 2 interceptions by Otis Wiley, but that pass was perfect to Michael Floyd, the freshman. That gave them their only score of the day. Now they're down 9 with 9:10 to go, and they got to make something happen fast.
Well, in the second half, Notre Dame has only run the ball twice, and one was because of a sack and 16 passes.
Floyd is the guy on the bottom of your screen. Clausen might be looking to him again, and he is across the 30 out to the 35.
Now, he had single coverage down here on Floyd, ran a little out route, but if he ran a post or a takeoff or anything out here, I mean, you got some big plays out here.
If you just joined us, Michael Floyd had a catch earlier and actually fumbled, and that led to more points for Michigan State. But you take away that one miscue, and I can see why they're so fired up about this kid.
Yes.
He's going to be special. First down at the 38. There he is, lined up with Chris Rucker. Jimmy Clausen's going to face some heat again. Here comes a blitz. And he's going to throw this one away wisely.
I think that's the thing that Clausen is doing this year that he wasn't doing last year. Like that, last year he may have tried to run the ball or maybe have taken a sack on that situation. Now he's just getting rid of the football. Playing smarter, more poise and confidence.
Made some nice throws today, too. Not a good first half. Second half's been a lot better. And he's, as Paul said, going to be forced to throw because time is of the essence. 8:38 remaining. Second down and 10. Trailing 16-7. Notre Dame trying to go to 3-0. Michigan State, there's a bad snap, and Clausen's just got to cover this. Loss of 8. They didn't need that one. Don't forget tonight, college football from Tempe. Arizona State hosting the Georgia Bulldogs, ranked 3rd in the country. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines on ABC tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You won't want to miss that one. That'll be a good one. SEC against the Pac-10. Now the crowd into it. Remember, Notre Dame used one of its timeouts earlier in this half as well. At the 31-yard line, 3rd down, and it must look like a mile to Jimmy Clausen. Throw complete out to the 40. It's not good enough. Whoops, wait a minute. Still on his feet is Tate, and he's got the first down. Wow. I had him down. He wasn't. He made about 3 guys miss, and what a huge play on 3rd and 17. They get 23.
It's a great individual effort. Great individual effort by Golden Tate.
What did he say? They can't cover me?
They can't stop me. They can't tackle him, that's for sure. Take a look at this. Clausen gets this ball outside, but this is just pure hustle by the receiver. Look at that, keeping his balance, staying in bounds, and then picking up the first down. How good is that?
That guy is a big play looking to happen.
Yep. He's got that Rocket Ismail Tim Brown look to him, kind of. Here's the throw out in the flat. Allen, he broke a tackle and out of bounds in front of his coach over there. Let's check in. Matt Weiner in New York. Matt.
Hi, Brad. SportsCenter right now, powered by Vizio. The Chicago Cubs beat the Cardinals 5-4 this afternoon at Wrigley to clinch the National League Central title for the second straight year. They're the first National League team to secure a playoff spot this season, and second Major League-wide. Only the Angels, the Rays, can follow them up tonight.
Notre Dame, Michigan State territory. Second down and 7 at the Spartan 44. Down 9, needing points. Clausen loads, deep middle. Incomplete. Any flags? Yes. Robbie Paris, the intended receiver, and Jeremy Ware was too close too soon. That's going to give Notre Dame a first down.
Pass interference. 9 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Watch number 9 come in to the back of number 82 right there.
Wow. I think the ball being behind him had a thing to do too. If the receiver would have kept running, I don't think the defender would have hit him.
No, he couldn't have.
So now they spot it at the 29-yard line. Notre Dame, remember, they need 2 scores. 6:49 left, 2 timeouts remaining for the Irish. Mark D'Antonio's defense has been a proud one all day. They don't want to give up a cheap one here. First and 10. Clausen in the gun. Floyd in motion toward the ball on the top of your screen. Clausen looking that way. Got him again. First down and out of bounds. And this is going to be a tandem that's going to be around a while, and I think they're going to get better and better.
Well, you got a lot of these guys going to be around a while because they're all young. Clausen is a true sophomore. The receivers, Kamara, Tate, and Floyd are all true sophomores. And the running backs, Allen and Hughes, true sophomores. So all of their skill guys are young.
Floyd, a true freshman. He's just off the bus. First down at the 18-yard line. Clausen to the corner of the end zone. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Intended for Duval Kamara.
Well, I'll tell you this, in Michigan State's defense, they're a little tired. What they did do is they substituted 4 defensive linemen. So they changed the linemen, but they can't do that much with the defensive backs. They just don't have them.
Kershaw's that guy in the middle who anchors the front, the captain out of Columbus, Ohio. Second down and 10. They'd love to get some pressure on Clausen. Flags are down as Clausen throws complete again to Kamara on the far side. And he's got what would be a first down, but it's all coming back, I think.
Ball start. 34 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
James Aldridge, who was in the backfield, I think came out of his stance a little too quickly.
And with all those young guys I was just talking about, that's what happens when you have young guys in the lineup. True sophomore, true freshman. They jump a little bit. I mean, Aldridge was in the backfield, didn't have anything to do on that route except block if a linebacker came, and he moved before the ball was snapped.
8th play of the drive. All have been passes. Second down and 15. 3 wideouts. And Armando Allen flanking Jimmy Clausen in the gun. Blitz coming. Clausen loads to the corner for Floyd. He's got it. No, incomplete. Thought he had it. Lost it on the way down. Ross Weaver was there with him.
Whoa, you talk about a beautiful pass by Clausen. He put this thing in the corner of that end zone. And Weaver, I'll tell you, I didn't think Weaver thought it was going to get there. And Floyd, the thing about it is, in the corner here, we couldn't see, does he have the ball in his hands? Because the official had to wait. Here it is. Floyd, the ball is perfectly thrown. But look what Weaver does. He keeps his arm up in the air and then pulls the ball out.
Nice play by Weaver. Well, we know it's third down, but we know there'll be a fourth down, too. To either try to get 3 and get 7 later.
You hate this.
A flag
or a
timeout.
You hate a
They're
timeout.
second.
Yep.
Notre Dame's down to 1 timeout. 3rd and 15 coming up. Stanley Cup made its way to Spartan Stadium today. For $5, you get your picture taken with it, and all the money going to cancer research. Justin Abdelkader, who scored the winning goal in the 07 championship and now plays for the Red Wings, is the guy to put that together. That's very nice.
That's very nice.
Here is the play of the day. 3rd down and 15. Clausen going to the corner. There's nobody out there except green jerseys. And luckily, Golden Tate got over there and actually played defense, or that would have been intercepted.
First of all, I don't understand the call.
He had the tight end down the middle.
There was nobody home at all where
right
that
down
pass
the
went.
what field? You got your tight end.
No, you don't.
Right here.
That's old Otis. You go throw against Otis?
Brandon Walker will try a 41-yard field goal. He missed from 51 yards earlier going the other way. They need this one because they need 2 scores. The snap was high. The hold is down. The kick is no good. That might have been their last chance.
The snap threw that thing all off.
The snap was high and wide, and nothing's going to work unless all 3 ingredients aren't perfect. There's the snap. Really had to hustle just to get it down, and the kick wide again. The Megaphone Trophy might be returning to East Lansing in the next 5 minutes and 50 seconds if the Spartans can hold on to this 9-point lead. 76,000 all clad in white today watching this one as Notre Dame maybe just lost their last opportunity to get back in the ball game, missing a 41-yard field goal, in need of 2 scores. We're going to come back and talk about what led to the field goal attempts in the first place as we welcome you back in the booth. Guys, we were talking during the break and questioning maybe the play calling right there down on that throw by Clausen.
Well, I think they did what's been getting them the points, and that is the fades down the sideline. The problem is they've missed 2 field goals and had 2 interceptions when they were in Michigan State territory. They left points on the field by turning the ball over.
The only call I didn't like was the 3rd down call. They went the regular pro set, and they've been spreading them out through the whole drive and through the whole second half. And then why go to just 2 wide receivers going out and a tight end going down the middle? That I didn't understand.
And it was on a 3rd and 15 that they had to have, or at least part of it. And now Michigan State, Javon Ringer, 40 down the sideline. Ringer, another huge day. He's to the 15. That might ice it right there. 63 yards, Javon Ringer.
I think you were right about his pride was hurt on that one run. God, you don't come back that quick and just get going. Boy, he can run. He can flat run. But getting through the hole is the amazing thing. Watch him just get through here. One hand on him, and that was it.
How about Roland Martin with that little push block?
Yes.
Or they might have been tackled in the hole.
Hey, and he gets better as the game goes on. We asked him, do you tire out? Last week, 43 carries. Tonight, he's had 34.
Don Treadwell said he reminds me of Tony Dorsett. He gets better as the game goes along. He's pretty good again. 187 yards for Javon Ringer. Not bad stats for 4 games, huh, fellas? Javon Ringer. Stacy was telling us earlier Brian Hoyer was worried that nobody was recognizing him. I said if he keeps putting up 200 yards on the ground every week, they're going to start taking notice. I think they already have.
He's been the player of the week in the Big Ten the last 2 weeks. Maybe it's 3 in a row.
Could be if Pryor at Ohio State doesn't win it, huh? Here he comes again. In the hole, finds a little gap and goes inside the 10. Pick up of 4 more for Javon. Brian Smith and Kyle McCarthy in on the tackle. So now the clock is definitely Notre Dame's enemy, and the Ringer family up there, they're enjoying everything that's going on. Got a nice little cheering section.
Yeah.
Jimmy Clausen, there'll be better days, Jimmy. He's thrown some great passes today, but it looks like it's going to be for naught because the 2 interceptions didn't help the cause either, both in Michigan State territory. Ringer flags down. he blasts his way to about the 7. But again, penalty markers at the line of scrimmage. Garrett Selleck was in motion, and he might have gotten a step going upfield before that snap.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
They may not have had enough guys on the line because of that motion. At any rate, still second down. They walk off 5. 3:46 all that's left. Remember, Notre Dame only has 1 timeout remaining, and they need 2 scores. And unless they get a stop here, it's all over. And the home team jinx that's been kind of going on this whole decade is going to go by the boards, and so will the undefeated record of Notre Dame to start their season. Came in 2-0. Michigan State came in 2-1.
You know what Charlie's thinking? He's thinking right now. He says, this field goal that we should have made, we didn't make just because of a snap from the center.
Right.
You know, just little things that you don't think that can go wrong do go wrong if they're not covered.
You know, you don't make excuses for them either, but this is, as you've been saying before, this is a young football team. They are going to make mistakes, and it's, you know, and they're making mistakes in crucial situations in this big game.
That penalty was declined, I think, and they're now trying to figure out where they're going to spot the ball properly. A lot of great games coming up tonight. We're trying to figure out a way to watch all 3 of those. It's not going to be possible, I don't think, but we'll work on it. Florida State has been slapped around by Wake Forest the last couple of years. Auburn and LSU, that'll be a battle at Jordan-Hare, and the Georgia Bulldogs and Arizona State in an intersectional matchup that should be very interesting on ABC at 8 o'clock tonight. I think they just about got this figured out. It is going to be 3rd down and a long 4, and it's right about the 7-yard line.
You ever notice that nothing discourages the band?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just, that's the Notre Dame band. They're singing and hollering.
They never have a bad day.
They don't. I love bands. I love bands.
3rd down. Ringer, the tailback, in the eye, as he has been all day long, with the exception of a couple of plays. Hawk and the fullback in motion, and Ringer will follow him, and he's got a 1st down. 1st and goal, Michigan State. And now it is truly just a matter of time. And the fans know it, and they're on their feet. And they're saying, this is Michigan State football from yesteryear, and we're digging every minute of it.
What was Mark D'Antonio talking about yesterday? We've established our personality on offense. Everybody in the league knows, and around the country knows what we're about, and they're all going to go in and try to stop it.
I love what he said to Stacy in the pregame. She said, how many touches will Javon Ringer get? And he said, how many is it going to take? Here comes another one. Might have gotten a yard to the 1. And the clock continues to be a huge enemy to the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
I love that. You got Ringer on the kickoff return team, and he's your runner that's gains, you know, 200 yards a game. Then you have on your punt return team, you got Otis Wiley, who's the only guy with, he's got 4 interceptions, the only guy on defense with any interceptions, but he's your punt returner. So you got your 2 big stars offensively and defensively on the return teams.
Another 200-yard day for Javon Ringer. They may be going to have to cut his shoes off when this game's over. At the 1-yard line. Does he get it again? You bet. Ringer, touchdown. Notre Dame's bell has just been rung. Here's number 11 on the year. Little stutter step one way, bangs into Crum, and then backs into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans. 77-yard drive, Mr. Ringer. He did it all, including 63 on 1 carry. Swenson's extra point is good. Michigan State's 2 minutes away from being 3-1. You think they don't love this guy? Even Bob Greasy's Best Buy playbook does.
Well, let's go back and take a look at the key play. The Martin right here, he's going to come around the fullback. McPherson's going to get a block. This is a little play they've run all day long. 63 yards. The fullback McPherson, Martin gets the block, a broken tackle, and 63 yards later, everybody has forgotten about how close Notre Dame was with that missed field goal of going within 6 points of Michigan State.
There'll be a lot of those number 23 jerseys again this week. I'm not sure about the hairdo, but that's a whole different item. And if you're a Notre Dame fan, that pretty much tells the story. But still, there's a long season ahead, and Notre Dame's much improved. And I don't think they're going to be 3-9 like they were last year.
No, they won't be 3-9. They're just too good. Clausen's much better.
Kick will go to Armando Allen right at the goal line. Allen, nice move to cut it outside. 25-30. Armando Allen. Allen down the sideline. Almost took it. Boy, would that have been big. They could have used that earlier in the ball game, though.
They've got some big play guys. Armando Allen, Tate, Golden Tate,
Floyd.
this kid Floyd.
Yep.
They've got some, but they're all young.
That was a heck of a return. Beautiful. 53 yards on the kick return. And now, though, one timeout left and down by 16 points. So it's still 2 touchdowns, two-point conversions away from a tie ball game.
And one of the things you have to do when you're on the kickoff team is you've got to stay in your lane. And they allowed Armando Allen to get himself back in the inside and then right back outside again. He stepped out of bounds back on about the 47-yard line.
Clausen down the middle, ricochets it off his intended receiver, the tight end Kyle Rudolph. Eric Gordon had nice coverage from his linebacker position. Well, you know, you get up on Sunday morning, you grab a cup of coffee, maybe half a donut, you go out in your driveway, you grab the Sunday paper and the Lansing State Journal, and it might say something like, ring a ding ding.
Ringer dinger.
He's certainly not a dead ringer, I'll tell you that much. He's very alive.
Yes, he is.
What a game by Javon. Clausen steps up in the pocket, throws back across his body, tough throw, broken up, incomplete.
You know, the only problem with putting all your eggs in that one basket, that ring-a-ding-ding, that ringer basket, is he's small and he carries the ball a lot. And, you know, the running backs get hurt. And if he gets nicked or anything, they got to have somebody else, or they got to have another way to win football games. And, you know, it's a very physical conference, Big Ten, that they go in. So.
And after this game, all of their games are the Big Ten. So, I mean, their schedule just really began with today's game and then finishes the rest of the season.
We welcome those of you that were watching North Carolina and Virginia Tech here in the 72nd meeting of Notre Dame and Michigan State. The Spartans and Javon Ringer have dominated here in the late stages in a game that looked like it could have gotten a lot tighter about 10 minutes ago, but a missed field goal and then a 63-yard run by Javon Ringer, and his 11th touchdown of the season, his second of the day. There he is, number 23. And with less than a minute and a half to play, time's running out on Notre Dame, and Michigan State's about to be 3-1. Notre Dame is about to be 2-1. Clausen, dangerous throw, and now picked up by Tate. How in the heck? Nope, he didn't get it. I thought he had it for a second. Chris Rucker and Jeremy Ware, they were juggling the thing out there. Looked like they were at the state fair there for a second.
The ball was bouncing around and he tried to pick it off.
And now we're going to see an unhappy Charlie Weiss, obviously, but we're going to see another look at that play. A hot potato there, and Tate almost snatched it at the very end, and then he couldn't quite hold on either.
Oh.
So now one of the greatest plays for an offensive coordinator like Don Treadwell to call is about to happen. Take a knee. Brian Hoyer. Hoyer is going to be a happy camper. Chevrolet players of the game today. Well, for a while, it looks like it was going to be Otis Wiley, but Javon Ringer changed our mind a little bit with 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Floyd, an emerging star at wide receiver, only a freshman, but he had a big game for Notre Dame. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Well, I think Michigan State's a pretty good football team, guys.
Yeah, I like them. I like their defense. I like that, you know, and of course you get, like Bob said, you got Ringer. But if you lose, if something would ever happen to Ringer, you know, you really don't know where they go.
The passing game's got to pick up. They got to find some other guys to throw to besides Mark Dell.
And there's the jubilation. Ringer and his quarterback and that big offensive line of Michigan State's. They win it 23-7, and it's an even longer walk for Charlie Weis than normal because of that blown-out knee. Jimmy Clausen played his heart out today, but in the end, Mark D'Antonio's Michigan State Spartans snap the home jinx. First time in a long time the home team has won in this series that dates back to 1897. A happy whiteout crowd in East Lansing today. And the final score, Michigan State 23, Notre Dame 7. Let's go down to Stacy.
Hey, Javon, some congratulations from Coach Weis here, and just an outstanding performance by you, Javon. First of all, take us through your mindset on that 63-yard rush.
Stay in bounds. Try to get as far as I can, but make sure my legs keep going, but make sure I stay in bounds. Listen, we got to pray. I got to do it. We got to pray. We always pray for it.
We'll send it back to you, Brad.
All right, well, you know what? A little post-game prayer. Remember that line about prayers work a lot better when you got big players? Yeah. He had some big players in front. A happy Javon Ringer. He knew enough to stay in bounds and make the end of that play continue to chew up clock. That's the final score. Michigan State 23, Notre Dame 7. For Bob Greasy, Paul McGuire, Stacey Dales, Brad Nessler from East Lansing, Michigan, the Spartans are 3-1 as we head to the studio.